What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on, big boy? What's going on? What's going on? Try to get some intro going up in here. Let me see something. There you go. All right, we on, Jimmy. Jimmy, what's going on, Jimmy?
We're on. We're live. We're coming in hot. We're coming in hot.
It ain't the intro. I was trying to come in hot, but you know, I didn't come in so hot today.
You didn't come in so hot. You'll be all right. Hey, what we got right here is natural, man.
That's right. That's right, man. What's going on, man? How's everything going with you, bro?
Looking good over on my end. Let the room kind of get filled up. See who's up in here with us. Shout out to Crack Carter. Crack Carter's up in the house, up in here tonight. Good to see you, Crack. Welcome back to the Hammer Down show. David Ford up in here. And my homeboy Billy Ocean throw the peace sign. He throw the fingers. Billy Ocean, the man that gave me my damn CB name. Good evening to you.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Big Hammer Show, man. I believe it's episode 4. Got a great show coming up for you guys. Some great guests, some good topics, man. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the shout out. I'm going to get to your comments here in a minute. It's been a hectic week, man. We did a new thing coming out with this show. I mean, people said it's been done before. We just we didn't invent the wheel. We're just trying to make it rounder. You know what I'm saying? We're just trying to get it going, get it popping, have fun doing it. You know, we ruffle some feathers up, but hey, it is what it is, man. You know, we just ask the questions. Don't kill the messenger on that end.
Yeah, don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Listen, man, we announced this, a while back, and whoever we have on the show, we have them on the show, and you're gonna get this and you're gonna get that. So it is what it is, but. I'll just go ahead and put it all out there, man. Them Dave Made guys, man, they caused some damn havoc. You know what I mean? They laid it down like it was hot, So it just is what it is, man. You're gonna have people talk, you're gonna have people look, and that's just part of it, So it just is what it is. First off and foremost, skip all that crazy shit. I want to get to the guys that's coming up in the room and shout out to everybody, all the CBers that's joining us live. And, helping us kick this thing off, because every show it's just getting a little bit better and a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. It's going to get better and better as it goes along. We kind of went to the direction of how the Super Bowl started. So we're going to shift gears. We're going to get back to that. But we're trying to get people over here that are, been relatable back in the day and current operators now. We're kind of mixing it up, getting a feel for what the Super Bowl is like, 27.025, and hence the Big Hammer Show. So if you're invited because you got a big hammer, that's the way I look at it. And everybody that's watching, man, shout out to everybody. I see the voice. I see 1, 2, 3. Big shout out to Hawaii, man. There's a whole bunch of y'all. Thank you for the love. 99, 125, all them guys, man. Much love to you guys. 25 in the corn. And man, it's just Prime is up in the house.
Shout out to Prime Minister.
Yes, sir. Shout out, man. And man, we just love what we're doing. We're just having fun with it. I hope you guys appreciate what we're trying to do for the hobby. We're just doing it for the love of the hobby, just trying to, just keep the game alive for the younger folk, man, and just have fun with it and get a plethora of information. Believe me, we're going to get into some technical stuff later on the line. Like I said, it's just our 4th show. We're bringing in guests, but later on, we're going to have antenna theories. We're going to have, bird forward, bird backwards. We're going to have a whole plethora of stuff to talk about. But up to right now, we're just having fun with it, and we appreciate you guys joining in. We got a great show, like I said. Jimmy, man, what's going on, bro?
Ain't nothing going on. Hey, there's so much to talk about, and with all the havoc and all the animosity and this one likes that one likes that. But when we bring somebody on the show, 413, we bring them in here to make it about them. It's just not about you. It's not about me. It's not about what we got going on. It's about the hammer hits hard on the bowl. It's all about the bowl. It's all about the radio. and it's all about CB at the end of the day. I had a guy reach out to me today, and he's like, hey, man, are you just going to talk about 6, or are you going to talk about 11? Are you going to talk about 28? I said, man, all we're doing, bro, is we're covering the bowl. I said, we started off, we were talking about the old times, how it originated, Rooster Channel jumpers. I said, we concluded with all that pretty much. You know, me and you, we're not going to be able to get all the history because, one, we're not old enough to go back there and get the history the way the history was written. But what we can do is we can touch base on it. We can bring it to the limelight, and we can lay it back out there for the viewers current today, and they can go, well, this is how it was, or this is how it wasn't. You just got to take what you got to take with it, and you run with it at that point. But if you got a damn hammer, and you want to be a participant, and you want to be part of something, this is something to get in on, I think, because, like I say, we're doing it, and we're making it all about radio. This isn't nothing else. This is strictly, at this moment, 27.025 talk. So, that's just for that, and that's where I'm at with it. But we got a great team set up tonight. We got some great guests, super good guests. We got some hammers waiting backstage. And I got a couple things. I'll let you say the one, but I'll go ahead and say this. We got a really, really good show coming next Friday night. I'll go ahead and put this out there. We got the Pioneer himself. This guy's brought a lot of stuff to the bowl. This guy's brought a lot of ingenuity from his trade to the bowl. There's nobody else but Motormouth Mall. He's going to be up in here live with us next Friday night. He'll do a sit down. Awesome. And we'll be able to find out who he is, where he started from, and what he's got, and just what we do. You don't get him up in here and pick his brain and learn something from it. So, but shout out to him. He's going to be up in here Friday of next week. So everybody, stay tuned, stick around. We got some really good guests in the futures, and we got some really, really, really good ideas that's coming right around the corners also. And if you don't know, we will be live here, I think, in a few weeks. We're going to be live out of the Bahama Islands. We'll be live from Nassau, and other great things are coming. We'll be live from Puerto Rico. So just stay tuned. We got big things happening. We got a lot of good stuff, and we're trying to bring it all to you guys, the viewers on the bowl. So. Absolutely. And again, the guests we have are we appreciate them coming on, because, to be honest with you, I asked a lot of guys, and I'm going to just keep it 100. A lot of guys are kind of skittish, they know Jimmy, how Jimmy is. They know how I am. They're scared they're going to get put in a trick bag. So they're looking to see how how these shows are playing out. And it's just, we just keep it radio 100, man. So there's going to be guests that a lot of people don't agree with. They say, hey man, why is that guy on? And why is that? You know what? We get in flavor from everywhere, from everywhere, whether you like the person as a person or not. I don't care. As long as you're a 10-8 operator, that's what matters to me. I don't care where you're from. Like I said, we got guys from Hawaii, guys from the islands, guys from New Zealand, everywhere across the world. And we're going to give everybody an opportunity. So if you want to join on the show, hit us up, Super Bowl 6 Skip Talkers. Hit us up, PM me, man. We'll gladly put you on the show. Ain't no big deal. We'll interview you, see how you got involved in CB radio and such and so forth. But, like I said, everybody ain't going to be happy with the guests we got, but it is what it is. We got different flavors of the month, different flavors for different people, man. Yeah. Well, I think we should just go ahead and put it out there and let them know what we got planned we come up with the 7 region deal. I'll let you run with it and tell them the ideas of what we got going on. And hey, this. I think we should leave that for the end of the show, Jimmy. We should just leave that for the end of the show. Big announcement, fellas. End of the show. We got a big announcement. Put it this way: y'all better get your golden screwdrivers going. Y'all better tighten up your coax. Y'all better call your technicians. Write that checkbook out. Pull that bank account out. Hey, I know guys that mortgage their house, but whatever you got to do, but it's gonna be on and popping here at the end of the show. Y'all gonna hear a big announcement. If your tubes is on the weak side and you've been creeping with them, well, this is Jimmy, and I'm telling you right now, take them raggedy bitches out and change them out. After tonight, you'll be looking for a damn good upgrade.
For sure, man. I'm looking forward to it, but I know we're going to make a big announcement out there in this show, and y'all stay tuned. Hit the like, share button, man. We appreciate y'all showing love. Again, I'm going to shout out a couple guys before we get to our guests. I see Motormouth Mall joining in. I see BA up there in the northeast corner. Shout out to BA. Who else we got up in here, man? We got DX Blanket. We got 25. I called him out. Black Ice. Richard Johnson. Al Riley. I just want to try to throw your handles up in there, man, because I don't really like putting government names out there and stuff. I got 249 South Carolina. Shout out to 249.
Up 249.
Yes, sir. Who else we got? We got a whole bunch of guys coming in. 95, 85 people in here. Man, thanks for the love, man. Hit the like, share. Y'all can see us in YouTube, The Big Hammer Show on YouTube. Check it out. Subscribe, like, and share, man.
And we're up on YouTube too. We're streaming on YouTube. We're streaming here, and we're streaming several different places right now. So I got people texting right now talking about I'm trying to get in. So, we got a lot of love. We got a lot of support. We definitely got more love than we got hate at this time, but everybody knows, Jimmy, I don't give a damn about no hate. One thing about this platform right here, this is a platform that the truth will set you free.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm about, and that's what you're about. That's what a lot of people are about, just being truthful with yourself, or you can't be truthful at all. So,
Absolutely.
Get on with it, man. I mean, we got a really good setup for the guys tonight. We put it together pretty decent. It took a lot of work. This is a lot of work we're putting in. So you guys, you're coming in, you're viewing it. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you hit the share button. Everybody, leaving their comments. We got the phone lines that's coming available next week. We will have live call in. So, for instance, like if we have a guest on the show or whatever, and you hear the guest say something or whatever, and you want to call in, and if you want to talk to the guest, or if the guest says something that you don't agree with more or less, or you say, hey, I know different, that'll give you an opportunity to call in, and then we can hash that shit out and get it live and right. And this is a good thing about this. When we started this 413, that's why I did not want to get into like pre-run shows. Because then I didn't want nobody to say, hey, man, you guys are bullshit. Y'all are editing shit over there. I didn't want to get into that.
It's like a bootleg Watergate, man. Edited Watergate. No. We're going to do it live right here. Whatever happens on it.
Happens.
We're going to roll with it. It is what it is.
Light skin Bobby said, if your shit won't key, we'll drag you up to the asphalt. And if your shit don't run after you key, we'll drag you back to the trailer. So if you blind, crippled, or crazy, we're gonna bring your ass up in here if you want to be a part of this. So
Absolutely. And hey, like Jimmy said, next week we're gonna have some phone lines. We're gonna even have we're gonna be able to put some polls up for some different questions. The way you guys in real time live will be able to click on it. No miscounting anything, no funny stuff. It's going to be as soon as you click on it, you'll see the results. So that's what we're looking forward to, especially the phone lines. I'm looking forward to the phone lines because there's going to be people that are going to disagree, and we just get on the phone and get it popping and be like Maury. We'll be like, Maury, hey, you ain't the father. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? You ain't the daddy.
Yeah. And that's good because, we had so much rebuttal. There was a lot of kickback from the Dave Made guys. And it is what it is. So that'll give them that. For an instance, I'm going to use them Dave Made guys for an instance, or for an example. So say the Dave Made guys are on the show or whatever, and so they say something. And so somebody can call in right then and there at that moment live, and they can say, hey, man, no, what you saying ain't it. No, this ain't how it went down. Now, you got some that say, hey, man, I ain't trying to get into that drama. But see, here's the thing. You do drama. You have some part of drama in your life. If you go into Power Talk, you enjoy drama. If you go into a bar and drink beer and holler at some hoochie mamas, you have drama. You understand what I'm saying? So you got drama in your life. So I don't know why you're going to hate when we got the live show running. Go ahead and get the drama live at night at 8 p.m.
Man, there's so much drama, especially on 27.025, man. There's guys that get keyed on and they go home and beat on their dog because they got keyed on, man. There's going to be drama on the boat, bro. There's no doubt about it. The thing is, I want to be clear. We're just asking the questions y'all thinking about. So don't kill the messenger. We're just trying to keep it 100, keep it radio, and have fun with it at the same time. We don't have any animosity towards anybody, towards this camp or that camp. we're doing it for the love of the game. We just want to make that clear because there's been a little bit of a couple of little misunderstandings, and I want everybody to know we love everybody that comes on as operators, as fellow brothers on the bowl, and we're just trying to just have fun and try to get the truth out of it.
Right. But, see, that's why me and you make a good team, because I'm going to tell you why. Because, see, you sitting over there and you saying that, and you're going to look out for Jimmy, right? But here in another couple more shows, when them boys start crying about that hammer got put on them, I'm going to say, man, I don't feel sorry for them bastards. They just got the ball put on them. You know what I'm saying? You can sit over there and say what you want to say, but I'm going to sit over here and say I don't feel sorry for them no more.
Hey, Jimmy, the stick don't hurt that bad, man.
But everybody won't that bad. This is the main thing. And you put this out there, so I have to run with this because I love this. Everybody wants to do boss shit. Everybody wants to be a boss. Let me get it right. Everybody wants to be a boss until what time is it?
Until it's time to do boss shit.
Until it's time to do boss shit. And then they go pickle up and they get all crazy eyed and shit like that. So, but anyways, we got all that out the way. Hey, we got a good show tonight. I hope everybody enjoys it. And if you don't, maybe this ain't for you. You can go find something different to do. But let's get on with the show. Let's get the first guest out here and popping and get them introduced. And most every one of you guys are going to know this guy. He's a super good dude, got a super big heart, and he's done a lot of energy to the game. And we said this before. This show is not. It's not based on if you got this or you don't got that. If you're bringing energy to the game and you're doing big things out there and you're 10-8, we want you to be a part of this if you want to be a part of it. Y'all give it up for the one and only Frank Lucas, downtown beautiful Nassau, Bahamas. What's going on, Frank?
Uh-oh.
We can't hear you, Frank.
Frank, we lost your audio, Frankie. Let me see.
We might have to just ease back out the way and see what's going on with Frank. When we had him backstage earlier, he was good.
Yeah, let me get him back on. Let me see what's up. Hold on.
We might have had him back too long.
There you go. Tell you what, get him on the phone right quick, and I'm gonna do something right quick. In the meantime, y'all stand by real quick. I don't know why his microphone ain't. Well, everything's good on this end, but we'll get him on right now. Go handle it, Jimmy, and I'm gonna do something right quick. In the meantime, y'all stand by real quick. you go. Let's see what we got going on, man.
No, we back. We back. We good.
You good? We good?
Yeah, we good. Hey, stuff like that happens, especially when you take off, and you run it the way we running it, hey, everybody's Wi-Fi gives a little problem. You get glitches here and there. There he goes. What's up, Frank Lucas? Welcome back. Can you hear us now?
Oh yeah, definitely. I got
yeah.
Color.
I did something right, Jimmy. Jimmy, I did something right.
Yeah, you did something right, but I can tell you what, we gotta ditch that music 413. That music was giving me a damn migraine, man. Crank my bitch up. That shit was about to drive me crazy.
Get you hyped up, man.
Yeah, that shit was gonna get me hyped up. That shit had me looking around, seeing if I wanted to go back 20 years ago and dig up some shit that I used to do or something, So shit, taking me down back road memory avenue.
Let's get
let's go with the program. What's going on, Frank Lucas? How you doing, my brother? You can hear us down there in Nassau tonight.
Yeah, I got you, man. First of all, man, I want to say thank you. I consider this a privilege and a pleasure, man, an honor to be on your show. And I just want to say to you and Mr. Daytona, I wish you all the best and all the success that's yet to come, man. I love what you guys are doing for the game.
Right. Well, last week, man, I gave you a lot of kudos and I gave you a big shout out. Yeah, when you do what you do and you bring the energy that you bring to the Super Bowl, man, it got my attention. All them guys, 3 in the Carolinas, Wagon Wheel, a lot of big hammers, they've been going down there, and you got this wall, and that's what really, intrigued me to look your way. You got a wall, man, that you've been letting CBers sign, at your house, and when I seen that, I was like, man, that's some good shit right there, so I wanted to reach out to you, and I appreciate you as well, for picking up the call. And coming in here and, sitting around the table and shooting the shit with us and, just telling us a little bit about yourself.
Well, the wall is kind of, the wall goes back to my military days, man. I always got a lot of guys from my old unit. They come over and, we chill, we chew the fat, talk old war stories, talk about the good old days, I should say. But for me, I like legacies and I like to build, I like historic things and I like to leave a legacy. So everybody who comes there through the unit or whomever I've worked with, they get to sign the wall. So the wall is not just for any old visitor. The wall is there for people who have played an important part in my life, that kind of special to me, that I hold near and dear. So most of the guys that you see on the wall are guys that I've been in the trenches with, man. Guys who, had my back, per se, had my six. So, CB for me is a community. So a brotherhood, something that we should all be proud of and to be a part of. So anytime a CB comes here, internationally or locally, he got to sign the wall. He ain't got much of a choice. That's what the wall is all about, man. Brotherhood.
Yeah, brotherhood. No, the wall is a great thing. I really liked it, and I in fact, when I seen it and I heard about it, because I scrolled through Facebook and checked stuff out, I told 413 about it. I said, man, this is some good shit right here, what this guy right here is doing.
I love to represent, so I'm going to B-Town. I just had on the Angels go to B-Town right now.
There you go.
It switched up. But hey, no, it really is, man. The wall is awesome. And it shows who you are as a person, I think, because you're humble, and you got a lot of give in the game that allows people to come to your house like that and cook and hang out and fellowship, and you don't see a lot of that. What you see in this game right now is a lot of animosity and hatred, and people don't want people at their house, and they don't want that fellowship no more, because that's what really got my attention is the fellowship that you have laid out on the table, and they got a saying for it when you lay that red carpet out, so I totally get that, and I totally respect the fact that you got that going on.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got to remember too, the country where I live, man, that's embedded in us. We grew up like that. Hospitality is something that we hold near and dear to us here in the Bahamas. We're one of the largest tourist destinations in the world. I mean, we got a resort here that's second to Disney World as far as visitors are concerned. So, it's
Sure.
something that you grew up with, opening your house to people that, to strangers. So for me, I'm just following stuff from my ancestors, man. We open up, as you guys say, roll out a carpet. I don't have a problem rolling out a carpet. I don't have a problem, having some food cooked, prepped, and I'll entertain you. I'll wine you and dine you, man. And then I'll key on you too. Hey,
I like
Mr.
that.
Daytona.
Hey, 413, he put that hammer on his 413. I like that. That's good shit. Oh, hey, I got another dude that calls me all the time. He talks about them brass knuckles. That's another topic on the cast right there. The brass knuckles. But hey,
he tough. Frank Lucas is tough, man. Hey,
he's a fighter, man. He's a fighter.
Yeah, and what prompted you to get on the Super Bowl down in the Bahama Islands? Like, how did it go? How did it start off in the Bahama Islands?
I think back in probably 1987, 88. I had a neighbor. He had a handheld walkie-talkie, and he came up to the house, and I could hear guys talking on it, and I was like, damn, I want to play with that. So I asked them to use the walkie-talkie, and in true Frank Lucas form, I never gave it back to him.
You stole that shit.
You went gangster on him.
Yeah, I went gangster on him. And I heard the guys on the radio. I heard the bus drivers. So I went from that to putting up a PVC pipe with some clothes hangers on it. And then from then, my dad always was in the States. So he went to Radio Shack, bought me the radio, and he brought the radio back. I was like, where's the antenna? He's like, you didn't tell me get no antenna. You told me you got the radio. So I had the radio with no antenna, got the antenna, and then I started to, really broadcast. Then I went off to school. I ended up in Alabama, of all places. And I'll never forget the store, man, Dallas County Electronics. I went there, and every penny my parents sent me, I bought CB equipment. I bought base stations. I bought amplifiers, and I bought myself a PDL2. And I came home and started talking on that, and that was it.
Wow.
Hey, let me ask you something. When you was out there 10, 12 and around in Alabama, did you ever run into TT Man down there in them damn woods anyway?
Nah.
You say back in 1987.
Yeah, man, I don't know, I'm TT Man, Daddy's truck, I know.
Hey, that made me think of something when I heard you say that. So that's some good shit, man. That's some good shit. So let me ask you this though. When you come to the Super Bowl, when you first got to the Super Bowl, did you see that there was competition on the bowl? Is that what brought you to the Super Bowl? Was the competition, or did you see the competition at that time?
Way back then, we in the Bahamas, we talked on 26. A lot of big boys, all the big boys, Train Driver 402, MacGyver, aka Headhunter, 505, 43, 146. Those boys was up there on 26. The only person that was really on the Super Bowl was Juice and a guy by the name of 925. And I'd be between 26 and 6. And for me, 6 was a little bit more exciting. I didn't hear much local guys, but you could hear the guys going to Florida. And so you would hear the big boys, San Mandos, and you'd hear them key down, and it was more aggression, more fighting on 6 than 26. So for me, I kind of stayed there, read the mail a bit, tried my hand, got my name called a few times. And then after focusing on my career, I really got back into it. And a couple of ex-wives later, I'm in my own house, a bachelor pad, my man cave. So I decided, hey, I'm going to build me the biggest and baddest station there is. And hey, this is what you have here.
Right. Well, you're definitely something.
The bowl is it. The bowl is the staple of CB fighting. There's nothing like it. Right. And you sit down and the thing is, the beauty of CB is, you get to make friends that you may never see, but hey, when they hear you key, you don't even have to say something, and guys know it's your station. Yeah. Some guys just got a key. For me, every time I press that mall, I'm like, shh. And as soon as I say that and let the mall go, guys like, hey, Frank Lucas. I'm like, God. So for me, hey, the bowl is king. The bowl is king.
Yeah. Yeah, the bowl is king. But, you being a fighter, and we've heard Gates of you, and that's another thing that we're going to bring to this. We're going to bring the Gates into this too while we got the guest on the show. When you get out there, when you go out there and you get into a fight and say, let's use 43 for an example. Let's use, what's his name? Is his name 6ix9ine? when them guys get into a fight with you, I don't see you putting up a big feud. It's just, I mean, I don't, am I missing something here? Am I not seeing a blind side to you? Because I don't see you being
For
like
me,
a lot of the guys in causing controversy on Facebook over getting your ass whooped. Is it that big of a deal to you or no?
nah, for me, it's the fun, man. It's the camaraderie. Okay, I'll tell you this. Just a little history about me. I'm that kind of guy that if you need something and you come here at my house and I got it laid down, I'll give it to you, right? So for me, it's not for me to embarrass you or to try and malign you or drag you through the mud. So
Right.
out here, guys out there, I know I could key on them. I know I could beat them, but what's the challenge in that? You know, for me, and this is where for me, I'm kind of new school in this game. I'm here to change the game, as they say. So I believe every generation should get better. So for me, I'm gonna tell you what I'm running. I'm gonna tell you what I'm running because just like NASCAR, every car in NASCAR has the same engine. It's all about the driver and the antenna. So you may have the same amount of watts as me, but I'm gonna outbeat you with my antenna and I'm gonna outbeat you with my navigational skills. So you know, it for me, I'll tell you I'm running a pair of threes. You know, I'm running a pair of threes. I'm a dead key 15 and swing the you know, but for me, it's all about where you put that antenna and you know, how you design your antenna. My antenna was designed by 73. I think one of the biggest and the baddest antenna techs out there. You know, this
Shout
guy,
out to 73.
the little short midget knows his stuff, you know. They say good things come in small packages, you know.
Right.
But back to what you're
Right.
saying, you know, the keying and the tussling, for me, hey man, I always wanted to be able to key when I wanted to, how I wanted to, and talk to whomever I wanted to. And I didn't want anybody to be in my way. So the fighting ain't me. I'm more of a lover, not a fighter.
Right. When Juice, rest in peace, Juice, my good friend, man, down there. I called him that. I used to always mess with him, the shark in the water. But you
Yeah.
know what? Did you and Juice ever? Did y'all ever run across paths? Did you ever get a chance to hang out with Juice? Did he ever mentor you, share some knowledge with you, or can you tell the viewers a little bit about that if you got anything on it?
Juice is my mentor. Juice is what got me back into the game after, I was focusing on my career. And I was working with the U.S. government at the time. And we had a charge account at Juice's gas station. And I'd go there to fill up. And every time I fill up, I had to go in and sign the receipt. And he'd be like, hey, when you coming back? I'd be like, soon. And one day he was keying down. And I caught him keying down. And I squeezed the mic. And that was it. I got that itch. And I said, hey.
That's an itch you can't scratch, man.
That itch I couldn't scratch. And I was like, write me a list of what I need to make me competitive. And he was like, all right. I did. I mean, the guy was in my house. I was in his house. I built him his last beam. And, sad enough, he never got a chance to key on that 5 I built for him. But, rest in peace, Juice. That's the guy who's responsible for all these brass knuckles I be putting out.
No, he was a great guy, man. He was a really good dude.
I like the style, man. He was just smooth. Juice, Bahama Islands. They was smooth as all can be, man.
No, he was smooth. He was smooth operator. Smooth. I've always wondered that, But listen, when we're down there soon in Nassau, man, it's going to be such a great honor to actually put, to match the name with the face to all the guys down there. Absolutely. The thing about the guys down there in Nassau, Bahamas is a lot of you guys, man, I remember back in 2010, 2011, you guys didn't get a lot of credit, man. A lot of people didn't want to give you hard hitting hammers a lot of credit and stuff. And now look, things have changed. The tables have turned around. There's a lot of big station, a lot of big sticks in the waters down there, and you guys are dominating. You guys are being able to run with Florida. I mean, I'm saying that live on the show. Oh, yeah. I have heard it and I have seen it with my own ears and seen it with my own eyes, looking at the gates and stuff. You guys are running with folks like 12 gauge. You guys are in there and y'all are doing the damn thing, man. So what was back then is definitely not what's now, and that's the great thing about this show is we expose it. So
that's what I'm saying now. Every generation has to get better, and you heard you that 10-year gap you spoke about. So for me. When I came back into the game, the thing was, hey, why we like second place to Florida? What we could do the same thing. I mean, our money is just as green as everybody else. So hey,
Right.
I'm spending my money. You know, so I called Daryl and I said, hey, make me competitive. And Daryl did his thing. Hey, if I'm gonna spend that amount of money, I'm gonna fly him in to make sure it's done right. I brought him in. He did his thing. He hooked it up. He spent 2 days here, and hey, I'm a living testimony. I got another guy. You know, he did the same thing. He's a bad man. 505. You know, I got to bow to him. So whenever he keys, I'm gonna sit on the side. So you're gonna hear Frank Lucas just cower because that's a bad man. We got another guy. You know, his name is Headhunter. Headhunter. We got another guy, 391. He's on another island. You know, we got some boys who doing some big numbers. We got Barefoot Boy, 43 Swagger. You know, that's your tag team. He's out of your camp. But we got some boys down here that are doing their thing. And, you know, I always heard this thing, you know, third world country, you know, for me, that didn't sit too well for me. So, you know, I'm going to try represent. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. You know, and I'm going to do whatever it takes. Right now, you know, we kind of limited on power.
That was the question I wanted to get to you. I'm not saying a third world country like you try to say. I'm not saying that, but there is a disadvantage being in that small island in terms of power and the limitations you can run in terms of an amplifier over there. Correct?
I had an electrician here this morning, an engineer. I had to actually call an engineer. An electrician just wouldn't do. So I said to him, I need you to check it out, see what's going on. So he came and he went to the supply from the power company. I'm getting like 218. 218, right? So for me to run my Ghost, I need more than that. I need 240. So I had to get a step-up transformer for that. And then I had to put a Variac transformer on the base of the tubes, on the filaments. Then I had to put another step-up transformer just to hit the driver, to hit the Ghost. So people don't understand what it takes to run it. And then I called this guy because I want to run something bigger. So for me, I got to step up now. I need 100 kVA. So I had a guy come in here this morning to check out the stuff, what all the infrastructure I need to put in for 100 kVA, because I want to run something bigger. I want to cruise, you know.
You want to cruise.
I think you nailed it on the head, because a lot of guys thinking just because they have a big box that they're going to be 10.8, but they need to have the power required to run the big box, to run it in spec. All they're doing is hurting themselves.
It's like this. I use this equation. It's like buying a Bugatti or a Bugatti Veyron and ain't got nowhere to run it. You know, you got a big old pony in there, but you ain't got nowhere to run it. So it's pointless buying a big a 10, a 15, a 20. If you ain't got the power to run it, it's futile. So we kind of limited here with power, and you know, and like they say, you got to pay to play. So you got to get a generator. Some of the big stations here, pay the cost to be the boss. And some of the big stations here have had to go to generators, sadly enough. But hey, you got to do what you got to do to be competitive on the bowl. The bowl ain't no joke.
No, you guys are doing exceptionally well, you know, for what you guys are having to go through down there and deal with all the extra stuff that you got to add to the game to get you to where you need to be. But I tell you what,
that's not even the duty you got to pay on your stuff you bring in. So if I pay, let's just say, for argument, I pay 10 grand for a box, I got to pay 45% of whatever that box costs
to bring it over.
Yeah, just to bring it in. That's every single thing that you import in this country: radio, amplifiers, coax, or anything you put in that room, you got to pay duty on, unless you got a hookup somewhere. But hey,
real quick, Frank Lucas, do me a favor. I want you to give me a shout out to everybody that comes out of the Bahamas, right quick, right on top of your head, if you could, so that way we can get an idea. I know you pretty much know everybody on the islands, you know. Just give them a shout out, and so the guys that are watching can, you know, get a feel for who's out there in the Bahamas.
6'9", we got 43, we got Headhunter, we got MacGyver, aka Headhunter, we got 391. Basically called Big Gun, Top Gun. We got 73, my antenna tech. We got 175, the best audio in the world. We got who else is there? We got Unit 100. We got Star 1980, one of the oldest operators here on the island, and we got Mr. Black Sheep. And then we got, God rest his soul, Big Juice, man. I miss Juice so much. Wish he could see what he's created in there. But I think I got everybody in there.
About 73, right? Golden Numbers, a couple guys.
Oh yeah, we got the legend over there in Freeport.
Legend, man.
711. 711 is a character within himself, man. That's a show within itself.
It sure is.
I call him the professor.
Professor.
Golden Numbers is what, 200 miles north of you guys down there in Nassau?
Yeah, Golden Numbers is not too far off the tip of the coast of Florida. I'm about 150 miles off the tip of Florida. Golden Numbers basically is like a 2-minute flight from Florida. He's in a place called Grand Bahama. And he's been holding it down for a while. That man, I mean, he is the legend. I'm gonna give him his due. He is the legend. By far, I mean, as far as the knowledge is concerned and the way he operates, the very articulate. I love to listen to his gates. He can referee a fight. I think the best black and white man ever. He rolls the fight like he has him. But I love him. I mean, he's a good guy. He, despite what people may say, Golden Numbers is and was a staple for the Bahamas for a while. He held it down. 175 and 73. Those boys and Juice, they held it down for a while when the game kind of dropped down a little bit.
Yeah, all the guys in the Bahamas period, man. I mean, since I've been around 2010, 2011, 6, those guys have always been, super good guys, super competitive guys. But I tell you, man, I mean, when you got, because in the States things is way different. We take for granted of how easy we got things and what we have to do to get things. And you guys like the surcharge gets on top of y'all for would you say 42%, 45% on top of whatever you spend.
Crazy.
I mean, for somebody to have to go through that and still stay in the game and bring big energy to the game, man, my hat's off to you guys.
Jimmy, that means if he was in the United States, instead of getting 2 threes, he could have had a 15 pretty much. With the money he's spending.
You said it right, Mr. Daytona, but guess what? Frank Lucas working on it right now, buddy.
Don't let the trick out the bag yet. Don't let it out the bag, Frank.
Don't bust it out, Frank.
I told you, hey, it ain't. I'm gonna tell you, if you beat me, then I gotta call my banker. I'll make it happen again. So if you beat me on a
banker. That man said he's gonna call his banker.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm looking right now. I'm thinking about getting a pair of 15s, but the run. Yeah, that's a whole.
You're gonna shut the whole Bahama Island down.
Hey, real quick. Hey, Frank, let me stop you right there, real quick. Before when you say something like that, what happens in your mind? What drives you? What gears you to think? Since you got a pair of 3s already and you're doing what you're doing, what triggers in your mind to say, hey, I need to get a pair of 15s?
When I can't talk, when 12 gauge and weeds on the mall, that gets me. Talk. I want to talk. So for me, I'm a spoiled child. I'm going to get what I want. So I'm going to talk. So, 12 gauge and weed, that's the staple right now. And they say Mother Nature is a serious thing, blame it on Mother Nature. But for me, sometimes I'm in there and I'm talking up in the Great Lakes, I'm talking to the King or 406. I don't know, JB Stone, one of them. But and 4 aces. And then 12 gauge will come in there and just take it away. So for me, nah.
You could say, hey, you could blame it on conditions because you are 200 miles east of Florida. So that's, a lot of people don't understand Florida is 3 different conditions. You got the Panhandle, you got Miami, and you got where I'm at, towards the northern side. It's 3 different conditions.
It is. Now for me, if me and you are going at the same skip, and I'll watch conditions, I can tell you exactly the cycle. It'll start at 7 a.m. to 8, and that'll be Jamaica and Trinidad and so forth. And then it'll move up from Texas to Oklahoma, and then the Great Lakes will start to come in around 10:30, 11 o'clock. And I'll watch it. And 12 gauge pretty much got it down packed because as soon as he sees the switch is when he keys. So for me, watching it too, because I know I'm limited on time because it's about to switch, and and he knows when to hit his foot pedal too. So for me,
smart operator.
Yeah, he's a good operator, and that's what I'm talking about too. It's all about the driver. You can have the same watts. So for me, the technology is so great now. I could use Google Earth and put my antenna right on your house top. You tell me where you live, I put it in Google Earth. I find out where you live from my house to your house, and I put my beam on top of your house. So for me, the staple right now is reading 12 gauge. So I'm not saying that I'm gonna beat them, but hey, that's where I want to be because I want to be able to talk outside my condition.
Yeah.
Big energy, big energy. You bringing big energy to the 413. But hey, you know what? I'm just gonna say this. I'm a nobody. I'm a fly on the wall, right? I think it's all conditioned. It's all up to Mother Nature. You guys are way south. You guys are way south, from where 12 gauge is at. But I'm gonna tell you something. There ain't nobody listening but me and you. 12 gauge is a professional, man. He's a professional.
Oh, yeah. I know. I mean, he's a student of the game.
That's perfect. That's perfect right there. Student of the game. He'll come out there and talk, and even if he's getting whooped, he'll keep you out there knowing that conditions will change, and then he's gonna put them all on you.
Put them all dead on you.
And the thing is, what a lot of operators need to do is learn how to listen. Some days I'll turn on the radio and sit in the studio and just listen. And what I'm doing is log and skip. I'm trying to find out exactly where you coming from. What city in Oklahoma? What part of Kansas are you coming from? The middle part, the southern tip, the northern part, the western part? And that all of that plays a pivotal point in where I point my beam. But I heard Weed said it great, said it the best, I think. Weed said if it ain't 30 to 60 dBs, I'm not talking. So for me, if you ain't putting my 29 LTD in the black, I'm not talking. I'm not going to talk to you. So for me, I'm watching that needle constantly.
See, that's a show in itself right there. See, because you have some operators that'll be like, I listen to sounds, not pounds. And then you got the operators that'll be like, you know what? I'm watching my conditions, because you talk out of conditions, you get skull drag, and you can't back out of it. You got the ass whooped.
You're committed at that point.
You're committed at that point. Yeah.
That's a show within itself, knowing the radio and knowing how to read it. But I my thing is 73 told me best. He sits on my board of directors. I got a bunch of consultants that I talk to every night. So for me, you got to surround yourself with people who got knowledge and skin in the game. And that's how I learned. And I run a hybrid station. I got a part of Juice. I got a part of 73. I got a part of Headhunter. I got a part of 43. I got a part of 505. I take a little bit of each one of those guys and I put it in that room in there. And regardless, and I watch 711 too, how he's meticulous on stuff he does too, but for me, you got to build your station for you, and build it to that you're satisfied with it. If you want to be competitive, if you want to stand out, if it's based on you and what your needs and wants are. And I learned that from 73. He told me that, and I remember one day I keyed down in here and I couldn't get my name called for nothing in the world. And he was like, keep keying. And I keyed, and then all of I heard was, hey, Frank, you putting everybody in the background. Everybody's in your background. And I eventually learned, he was like, watch your condition. And, and that's what I do. So for me, and I'll tell you guys something. You'd be surprised to know how many guys stateside call me for information and for knowledge. It kind of humbles. It kind of like, I feel kind of honored when they message me. Hey, how would I do this? Who should I call? And if it's an antenna question, I'll direct them to 73. If it's an amplifier question, I'll direct them to Ghost. And for me, that secret society, nah, man, I'm an open book. I'm like Google. You call me, I'll make sure it happens.
I mean, you go ahead.
I like how you touched on the new technology. Like back in the day, only been on since the late 80s. Back in the day, California, boom, point west to California. But you hit the nail in the coffin. Now we got Google Earth. You can pinpoint down to the degree where some stations are at. And it makes a difference, especially the way the antennas are set up now, optimized beams, even quads, man. You could go 5 degrees and get your butt tore up if you're 5 or 10 degrees off. So I just want to make that point that you made, that technology has, just bring that up, that technology has changed from back in the day to where we would just look out west, but now you could actually pinpoint on the target.
Yeah, I run a set of 5, so my spread is a little wide.
Wider,
now, 6 or 7 or 8, you got a little narrow. You got a narrow path. So you got to be almost like a sniper. And you got to remember, just like firing a weapon, you know, every inch you're off, that's like 10 degrees off. So if you off by 1 degree, that spreads about 15, 20 degrees by the time as you get up there. And if you ain't pointing the right way, you get your skin toe up. You know, you got that knuckle sandwich that brass knuckles put on you. But you know, that's what it is. That the technology has certainly changed. The information is more at your fingertips, you know, with YouTube and Google and so forth. And everybody's recording everything. You know, you could just at your fingertips, man. It's amazing what you could find out on the World Wide Web.
Motormouth Mall said a rotor should be to rope.
Yes.
Yeah, Motormouth Mall is another one that sits on my board of directors, man. I call him a lot. I lean on him a lot for information. Knowledgeable guy, man. 3002. I call on him. The big boys, JB Stone, he'll answer the phone to me. 4 Aces too. You know, for me, I mean, you hear the names I'm calling. You know, those guys are like big in the game. So
much respect.
Like I said,
He's gonna change hats.
You gotta surround yourself with, you know, guys in the game who's made a name for themselves.
For sure.
Yeah.
That he makes a point. You know, when you get out there and like for the newer guys, you want to get your station 10-8. Go to the guys that've been there and done that.
Oh,
you know, I don't like when somebody asks you a question, but well, I Googled this and I said, man, go to the guys that already been there, done that, been through it already. Because it's like being a parent. You want to tell your child the good things and how not to do things. But some CBers are hard-headed and pride, man. Pride is just, it's another, especially in the CB game, man.
I had a guy who called me. He was running a 3-element beam. And he said, you know, he wants to get better. You know, what should he do? How much watts should he buy? And I answered him back, no watts. I said, what to do is, if you want to get better, first of all, you bought the antenna. What to do is call 73, get the schematics for a 4 or a 5 and build the antenna yourself, right? Because I believe that there's nothing more better than an operator building his own antenna and then have the sheer enjoyment of keying that thing and talking to somebody thousands of miles away. And I used to read the CQ magazine as a kid, and you'd always notice the ham guys. The antenna basically is a representation of the operator. So that's your chance to show what you are on the outside of the shack. So for me, building your own antenna and making it as durable, don't just think of functionality. You got to think about the elements and where you live and so forth. But for me, any good operator, my thing is building your antenna should be something you do. I mean, with friends, of course, and help, but something you put your hands on so you could feel it when you do talk. And that's, for me, all you got to do is do that first and the rest will come.
Right. Yeah, the rest will come. But you know, one thing that I admire, you know, you covered pretty much a lot of the main stuff that I wanted to touch base with you tonight. But the main thing is, man, the thing that I got the most respect about the Bahama guys is you guys stick together. You know, you guys don't put y'all's business, even though y'all might be beefing on the low key, you know, because in the game, we all got beef out there, you know. I mean, some guys just hide their beef, you know, some guys put their beef on blast, some guys keep their beef on low key. And you guys got your shit together, man. You guys keep it as a team down there. You're united down there. Look good, sound good coming out of the Bahamas, man, you know. But listen, hey, Frank Lucas, hey, I had a couple calls, man. And I tell you right now, you're here because of the respect that you bring to the game, the gift that you bring to the game, and the big energy that you bring to the game, man. And that's what having you on this show is all about. So, you know, you said earlier in the show, you know, you were glad to be here. No, bro, we're super glad to have people like yourself up in here and bringing that big energy to the table for us to sit back and, you know, have a conversation piece to talk about.
Oh yeah. And I look forward to hosting you guys one day, man. Just hey, fly out.
That's my fault.
Yeah.
He hit the button.
Hey,
I hit the button.
You hit the button. I don't know if
that was my fault. You got as long as you want, brother. Okay. It ain't like the Grammys over here. It ain't like the Grammys over here.
Yeah. Back to what I was saying about we have a saying here: you don't air your dirty laundry. You know, for people to see, for your friends, for guests to see. We have our ups and our downs here. Just like, you know, we like any other family. You know, we have black sheep in the family. We have some rogue kids, some of the spoiled brats, and every now and then you got to put them in place. But hey, we all drink together, we eat together. And like I said, my house is open. If you need something here, you know, they'll tell you, go to Frank's place. Frank will give it to you. Guys try to pay me, but I don't. Nah, that's not me. It's all about. Yeah, it's all about making everybody got to get 10-8. You know, I told you
brotherhood.
505. 505. He got a big old station, and 505 is the humblest person ever. You'd see him walking, and you won't think anything of him. But for him, he'll whisper in my ears. He'd be like, "I want everybody 10-8, man. Make sure everybody's 10-8." And I'd be like, "Okay." And I'll go from house to house to house. You call me and say, "Hey, my antenna, I'm gone. I'm there. What you need me to bring? You need me to bring some elements? You need me to bring some coax? What you need me to bring?" And that's what it's all about, man. For me, I grew up, you know, neighbors building houses together, you know, people in the community coming together and building something strong. You know, unity is strength, and you're only as strong as the weakest link. And right now, we try not to have any weak links. I think I'm about the weakest link in the chain, brother.
Right. Well, you know, I mean, listen, you're doing good things. You're doing big things. But the main thing that I put out here on this cast, you know, is, you know, years back, a lot of guys didn't want to give you your guys, the guys as credit. You know, you're switching hats on me. You're confusing me again.
The Brewers, man.
Milwaukee for a loop over here with his hat switching shit. Hey, but Frank, no, real talk, down to earth talk. The guys didn't want to give y'all the credit. You know, you guys just took that shit, bro. Straight up. You guys just got y'all money right, got with the technician that served y'all well, you know, and got y'all shit together, man. And y'all brought the bang to the band. That's all. So my hat's off to you, man. And I can't wait for me and 413 to get down there. I want to eat some of that damn good seafood with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
And I would like to sit down and I want to touch hands and put my hand in everybody's hand down there and just see the whole island, man, and enjoy all you guys and the hospitality and you know, kick it.
Well, the thing is, I don't know how long you guys are gonna come for, but I'm gonna make sure when you get here, you may not want to leave, brother.
Hey, you might not know that, but I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm from the hop skipping. Well, I'm pretty far from you, so I love going to the islands, man. But I've been to Bahamas one time on a cruise. Beautiful, beautiful. I can't wait to go see you guys, man, for sure.
I gotta get you. I gotta get you guys right. Get you some conch. Get you some conch salad. Get you some conch fritters. Some crab conch, lobsters. Some good old fashioned fried fish and some native bread. Make sure you guys write some coconut water, gin and coconut water.
Now you're talking my language.
Yeah, I see you get the Michelob there. I got to get you with a Calic or some Sans Bear in you, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, my thing is, and I want to say it again. I don't know how else I could say it or how else I could reiterate it. My house is open. I told Ghost Rider when he was here, I said, hey, you know, anybody who come in here, any CB or coming here, you know, just tell them get here. They don't even need a place they don't need to book a hotel. I got a spare room back there. You know, just show up. You show up, you call me and tell me, hey, I'm about to be at the airport. I ain't coming for you now. I'm gonna send a driver for you. It's special. And then you gonna come here to Frank's place and we gonna eat like kings. You know, and have a good time.
It.
Yeah,
right on.
And I mean that from the smallest to the tallest. I don't care what operator you are, as long as you got a call sign and you got a radio, you got rights to Frank's place.
Awesome.
Right. That's some good stuff, Frank. Hey, Frank, you know, listen, man. Hey, it's been a pleasure to sit down at the table, man.
Yes,
break
sir.
bread with you, drink a glass of wine, you know. But hey, all the stuff you bring, man, it's just, you know, we've kicked it on the phone. I've got to know you over the 21, man. And the same person on the phone, you guys, is the same person sitting right here in this table right here. Lucas, everybody out of Nassau, Bahamas.
Yeah, man, give it up for him. Hey, what we gonna do? We're gonna go to a quick break. Lucas, you want to join us for the next guest? You want to stick around? And
hey, you know my famous saying, and I ain't got nothing to do and all day to do it.
Hey, do me a favor, keep them brass knuckles off me, all right?
So so hang out with us,
Time.
Frank. Hang out with us. We're gonna go to break, man. We're
Yeah,
gonna get us some water here. Take it easy, and we'll get
You guys-
right back in
you
here.
guys
With y'all got us.
listen, take your water break, whatever break you got to do. We're going to come right back in about 3 minutes. We'll get back with y'all. we back.
Back live and living color.
Woo!
Now you're coming in hot. You're coming in hot. What's up?
I left hot, man. I had to go to the bathroom, bro.
Well, yeah,
I'm coming in slow, but I left hot.
hey, Friday night talk of the town right here. So it is what it is, you know.
Great interview, man. Shout out to Frank Lucas, man. We're gonna get him on here. Hold on, let me get him back on here, man, because he's gonna join us and kind of kick it with the fellas over here, man. Great interview. Get a little glimpse. There you go. You got the Cleveland Indian hats on now. See, I got the Buffalo Bills. I ain't got the repertoire you got with all the. I seen the rack on Facebook. You got a whole bunch of hats back there. He said, "Look at that Baltimore Orioles right there, man. He representing the whole states on that. Ain't no doubt about it." Great interview, man. Great to have you on, man. Appreciate you. Much love. Well, take it away, Jimmy. What we got going on now?
Well, our next guest, man, this guy right here, man, is got so much to bring to the table also, you know. But he's one of a kind, and I'll tell you why he's one of a kind, and it sets him, you know, in his own little league because he's got game. You know, he's not one of those key down guys on the Super Bowl. He's not one of these guys, you know, just holler 1 1 1 1 5 5 5 5 5 all damn day, you know, and just sit there and repeat the same thing. This guy right here, man, this guy comes out and he just talks about QSOs after QSOs and QSOs. And he's got this weird name around Christmas time. He calls himself Scrooge or something like that. I can't.
Don't give it away yet. Don't give it away yet. Just don't give it away yet. Don't give it away yet.
This guy's got so much shit going on in the Northeast corner, man. Now, this guy's from the Northeast corner. And I can't wait to get him out here and finally, you know, find out if he's been there his whole life or, you know, what he's got going on. But this guy, right, man, when he named himself the Real Black Man, and I heard that shit, I had to say to myself, I said, now, you know what? I said, damn. I said, the Senpal is looking to have a damn real white man. I said, how the hell you going to have a real black man, but you can't have a real white man? So everybody, y'all give it up for the one and only, the original, Cut Big and Real Black Man in the Northeast corner. If they don't like it, they gonna damn sure love you now. Richard Brayford.
Hey, how's everyone? Can y'all hear me? Audio test.
Good to go.
Good, you got plenty of audio.
What's
Richard.
up, Jimmy? Hey, Frank. Kudos, my brother. That was a fucking awesome interview. I don't even know how I'm supposed to follow that shit up, man. What y'all trying to do here?
Yeah, he did. He did it great.
On everything and didn't lie one time. And I can't wait to come down and sign that wall, brother. I'm coming down just to sign that wall and break
got
bread.
you, brother. I got you.
I'm gonna do that.
I got
I'm
you.
gonna do that.
For sure. Hey, man,
Jimmy.
welcome to the show, Real Black
Let me
Man.
tell you something. When I named myself, I don't know if y'all remember Harvey Wallbanger up in Connecticut area. Had a decent sized mobile, and let me tell you something. He had built the station, and Johnny Frank helped him put together a pair of threes, and I had just put my little single 3000 together, and I said, "Come on out there," and he was calling himself Nelson Mandela at that time, and he said, "No, I ain't coming out there." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because Mandela's scared." I said, "Listen, I'll even change my handle." I said, "I'll call myself a real black man." I said, "It don't matter what I call myself, because I'm going to whoop that ass."
Whoop that ass. Yeah, hey, you know, listen, that's one thing that I love about you and I love about your style, man. You don't care, bro.
No,
you don't
I
give a
don't care,
damn.
man.
But
I
got
know
it.
the difference. It's a hobby. It's fun.
It's
meant to be
radio.
entertainment.
Radio.
You know what I mean? And
That's it.
one of the coolest aspects for me is when we key down, our signal leaves the planet. Choop, it starts traveling in the heavens. And I love that aspect. So I kind of like am a student of the game as well. I like to see where Skip goes and where it comes from and who's talking to who and the whole 9 yards. But no, I don't give a damn. I know we all gonna get keyed on. If you don't get your uniform dirty, your ass wasn't in the game. Period.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
it.
but real black man. It's a white man and a black man. We're gonna have a
Let's have it.
conversation.
Hey, hold on. You got a white man, a black man, a Bohemian, and a Puerto Rican here. So we
That's
got
what's up right
a
there.
whole bunch over here, man.
That's radio.
Right.
That's CD radio right there. That's what's up.
But
That's what's up.
One
just-
big
I
melting
just-
pot.
That's it.
The white man has got to ask the real black man this right here, man. This is what I've always been wanting to know, and we've never got the chance to talk about this on the radio because we're out there, we're styling and profiling. But here we can sit back and we can kick it around the table and we can get kind of on the serious side. I want to know, who is the black man? Who is the man behind the mic, man? I want to see that.
I'm a father of two. I have two very healthy, active young men that are doing well for themselves, and it makes me so very, very proud. I am Connecticut born, raised, and grazed. I am a true Northeastern. I'm not from New York. I'm in New England. So you know I'm in the Northeast corner because New England is the Northeast corner. Not New York, not them damn Dade, Jersey boys. Y'all ain't it. Y'all ain't it.
You up there? Listen, when we think of Northeast, man, there's some heavy hitters, man. I
There
mean,
are
I
some big boys up here. And I give props, man.
I can name guys. Man, we got
333, 434. I like his game, but he said some shit that whatever. Anyways, there's some big boys up here, and I give him their props. Even raggedy ass double nickel in that double nickel made, I give him his props too.
There's some big hammers now. You know,
Big
when we think about the Northeast corner, like you
But
said,
they ain't gonna give me none. You know that they ain't gonna give me a drop.
oh, you gotta earn it. You got. Yeah, Jimmy.
Shit, lie.
This right up here.
Can I
We gotta have to take this one over.
on live TV? Shit.
Hey, black man. Hey, black man. Listen, bro. We ain't got no bleep shit over here.
Okay.
We ain't got no bleep shit,
I
man.
have to bleep me up here before it come out of here, right?
Hey, but listen, so we get an idea who the black man is, but how long have you been on the bowl? How long have you been talking on 27025?
On 27025, I've probably been talking, I don't know, probably like early to mid 90s.
Early to
maybe.
mid 90s.
I started maybe, I don't even think it took me 10 years to get down to the bowl. We all used to talk on 15. Connecticut was divided into like way, way back when we first started, like 83, 84-ish, something like that. A friend of mine, interesting story. A friend of mine, I was chasing my ex-wife around at the time. And I was running up and down one of the local highways, and I was getting tickets in my little red Fiero. And he was like, dude, we know where the cops are 40 miles in advance. Get a radio. That sounds like a good idea. Got a radio, fucking, what are those radar detectors? I was getting tickets for having those because those were illegal. So I was like, shit, I got a radio, and I heard the brothers in Waterbury talking. But I couldn't talk to them because the Fiero's body is plastic. So once I figured out how to get all of that shit, it was on and popping. And I started talking on the bowl probably in the early 90s, mid 90s, about that.
What makes you bring the kind of energy that you bring? You hear a lot of guys up there in the Northeast corner, man. You got a hell of a station. You hear receive well, I mean, when you hear guys out there on the band that really don't have no game, I mean, what do you think about that?
We're
gonna get some real shit here.
It's hard, Jim. Because
I'm Jim tonight.
when we were coming up, you had to sit, listen, pay attention, and work your way up. You just didn't go out and buy the power. You learned the game, you learned the swagger, you learned how to talk before you even come out there. But it's not like that anymore. So do I put it off on them guys? I just pay it no mind. Because you know what? I'm going to talk. That's just as simple as that. They might come out there and put that hammer on me. Blah! Get under the bed and play with your marbles. That's the new one, right? So I have to go play with some marbles for a few minutes. But I ain't going to talk. You know what I mean? So whatever they got, they need to sit and listen to the elders, like Vince was saying. They need to pay attention and humble themselves. That's what I think. They need to humble themselves. That's what I think.
But
if they
you don't
got no
really-
swag, because unlike Frank, Frank was excited that the bowl was a fighting place. To me, the bowl was a place where the big boys talked. They talked. Did they scuff it up? Did they fight? Of course they did. But they didn't come out looking for a fight. They came out to talk. Because to me now, this is my little peon thinking. If you that damn bad, go out there and lock the bowl up. Lock the fucking bowl up. Lock it up. If you that bad. And then you're going to find out, even while you think you had the bowl locked up, everybody else is still fucking talking.
Yeah.
So there's no need to have to come out with your fist balled up every fucking time you come out there. But people do. That's the way it rolls. But I think if they ain't got the swag, they can sit their asses right there on the sidelines and listen to me, because I got enough for everybody.
Yeah. I can't. I don't think nobody can really argue with that. You got some haters, and we know you got some haters. But yeah,
I got
however
some haters,
you got some, but you deal with it.
I got
you deal with
some
it.
haters. I do. I just I don't pay it no mind, because it's not my life. So I just go ahead and do what I do. You know what I mean?
So you're saying CB radio is not your life?
My life. It doesn't affect my paycheck. It doesn't affect my sleep. It doesn't affect my appetite. I put oil in the tanks. I mean, come on, And my
is he buffering over there?
What
on
I got is mine.
Yeah, he's buffering a little bit, but I can hear what he's saying. I got
I'm buffering a little bit.
Yeah, you good. Okay.
You're good. So that
don't make no. Hey, black man, if you make an adjustment over there, we might lose you, man. We don't want to lose you, because we got one of the real.
I ain't touching nothing, because I don't know
up
what
in
I'm
here.
doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Y'all just caught me, man. I had a long day at work today. It was a rough day.
No, you're good.
I'm so glad to be here and so honored, guys. I really am, and I thank you. And I think just like for everybody else in the community, we think you guys are doing a wonderful job. I think this is probably a very big blessing in disguise, not just for you two, but for all of us in the radio. You know what I mean? We're gonna learn a lot. We're gonna understand better, and if we sit and listen and pay attention, and don't have a closed mind. If you open your mind, then you'll be able to figure out that most people are not lying to you. Most people are not trying to cheat you. Most people have your best interest in mind and at heart. So that's my little perspective on what's going on.
Well, I'll clarify. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. The reason we reached out to you is because, man, we're looking for people just like you, bro. We're looking for people that bring game to the band, because in all the other forums and all the other platforms, you hear a lot of bitching. People don't have no game. Where does these people get their talk shows from? Where do they come up with this 111, this 555 shit and all this? And man, I instantly, my mind went right back to it. I said, man, this dude been 10-8 for as long as I came to the band. This dude was talking cash shit when I came to the band. I mean, I didn't
that
know.
Was a little bit ago, wasn't it, Jim?
Oh, yeah. I'm Jim tonight. Yeah. Hey, this dude's off the stage, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
see, a lot of guys don't remember. Say some of your hands. See, I know you originally from. You actually were Bad Attitude back in the day. Like you started off, and then you were Government Cheese. That's why I usually me and you used to kick it all the time. Talk about Government Cheese.
Government Cheese, boy. That cheese that never melt, man.
Cheese that never melt.
That shit,
man. Me and him used to talk about that all the time.
Government man, it turned to rubber. You can bounce that shit. You can beat somebody to death with it. But if you waiting on that bitch to melt, you'll be waiting a long ass time.
Oh boy, where you get that cheese at, man? I better stay away from that cheese.
Please. I said you some pepper jack. Don't you worry about it. You gonna be all right.
Don't send me shit. I don't want no hard cheese.
You gonna be all right. You gonna be all right. Let's see. I got
Dream Crusher. I remember Dream Crusher.
Well, listen, you know why I picked up Dream Crusher? Because my youngest son when he was younger, he used to call me Dream Crusher. Dad, you just crush dreams because I'm a realist. I'm a realist. I keep it real. Even with the kids, it's like, listen, you can dribble that basketball all day long, but you better get a fucking job. You know what I mean? I know you think you're gonna do this, and I know you think you're gonna do that, but the percentage. So let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. And Dad, you crush a dream. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna come out there and crush a couple of dreams.
Hey, but let me.
And I turned into a Scrooge because Christmas has turned into such an obligatory type of deal. You know what I mean? Just so commercial. You know what I'm saying? So I get Scroogey till my ghosts come, and then I'm all right. When my ghosts come, I'm good. They put me through hell, and then I'm straight the next morning. So I wait on them every year. Have a little tipsy, a little smoky smoke, you know.
So with your game and your energy that you bring to the band, and you do you, right? What do you think about all the bullshit? What do you think about all the bullshit, all the feed that goes into the Facebook and that drama? How do you separate it? How do you keep it game, and how do you put that in two different places?
Well, for me, it's I like Facebook. I like the social interaction. Don't get me wrong. I never was a big pal talker. I just didn't get into pal talk. But I draw the line when other parties are just always negative, and that's all they ever bring, and that's all they ever say, and they never got a kind word. You know what I mean? Never. And it's so damn bad sometimes where if I put something and somebody else has something opposite to say, then my haters will come out and like that. But they can't like, if I gave away $1 billion to a blind man, I couldn't get a like. You know what I mean? So yeah, it doesn't matter to me because that's not my life. That's something that I do to entertain, unwind, and we all spend a little bit too much time up on here, but it is what it is. Social media got everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I pay it no mind. I just go ahead and do what I have to do, and it comes to a point. When it comes to the point where it's like, you know what, this is not a positive for me, then I'll leave it alone.
Right.
I'll leave them alone. I'm too damn old. I'm 58 years old. I'll be, headed off into my retirement years. And like you, Mr. Lucas, I may put something together for these boys' asses too.
Now everybody talking big on the Hammer Down show tonight.
Everybody else want to talk big shit. Listen to some of mine.
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah. No, you
but I like where I'm at. Actually, I like being the underdog up here. I have a fight like you too, Frank. So I like being the underdog. I like to fight. You know what I mean? I like to go out there and have a good time and stuff like that. But when you guys start taking it personal and shit like that, I'm getting home.
That's one thing. That's one thing I think.
You know me personally,
Yeah, that's one thing I think that's been evolving is more personal stuff. You get a fallout with somebody, and all of a sudden they're talking personal files on you.
Right.
I think that ain't cool in my opinion.
That's why I just leave them alone. I back right up off of that. No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I mean, I get this stick put on me all the time. It don't hurt that bad.
It don't hurt, man. You know why, Vin? Because you've been around, man. Yeah. You've been around. You came up. We all started off on some other little channel. There's very few of us that went straight into Channel 6. You know what I mean? There's very few of us that went straight into Channel 6 and were even somewhat near competitive. When we first got there, we was hoping to just get our name called. You know what I mean? And what got me down there was Lady 5-0 and Dragon Base.
Ooh, man, you going way back, Long Island, Lady 5-0.
Yeah, man. I was up in my hometown, and I put up a PDL2, Frank. Boy, you and I have a lot in common. One of my first antennas, my first beam was a PDL2, and I put that up. I think I had a Mako 300, and they used to ground wave down into Philadelphia in the morning. to Night and them boys down there. And I got up and I was listening to that, and I started getting up in the morning, and then I would break them down there, and then I'd speak to Long Island, and then they'd be like, go ahead and take a shot down there and see what's up. And when I first made that trip down to Philadelphia, that was it. It was on and popping. Where's a big air amplifier at? I think I went to the 750 Mako after that. You know, then I got my little 2-tuber, and you know, we start moving along and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And got a 5 element, and been happy with the 5. I'm really happy with it. I love talking on it. I love it.
Do you feel like you're at the top of your game, or do you still feel like there's a whole bunch of more room you got?
Oh, I got plenty of room. I only run, and I'll tell it like you, Frank. I got a pair of 3000s. That's it. I got a small transformer. I am 5 to 7 years away from retirement.
Don't finish the cycle up. Don't finish the cycle up smooth.
You built your own stuff, correct?
I built my box. Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
I did.
That's
And
awesome.
it's really, I think it's performing good. I've seen that it was washed up. You know, I heard it was washed up. But whatever. I get my name called every now and again. Mother Nature shines on me, so
you talk hours out there, bro. Hey.
Sometimes, you know, usually on the weekends, because I got a little some time, and I try not to do anything on the weekends but relax. You know what I mean? I pay for my home. I want to be home. You know what I mean? So I'm home. You know what
Jimmy,
I mean?
you know his box is built well, and I'm gonna tell you this. It was one Saturday morning a couple months back. I was just sitting in the garage just reading the mail, and he was talking to somebody in Mississippi. And I was like, oh, they go real black man. I'm gonna go listen to him, whatnot. 30 seconds, 60 seconds.
No, I wasn't on the
Minute and a half.
morning.
It came like 2.5 minutes. I was like this. I was cringing. I was like, he's gonna disappear. He's gonna disappear. You got that mall down. So my kudos to you, man. I mean, you know, building your own stuff and be able to hold that mall. A lot of people say if you're long-winded makes your breast stink. To me, you long-winded, your shit's right. That's my opinion.
Man. Well, you know, the game is a broadcast station. We buy broadcast tubes, and we put broadcast equipment in there. Broadcast on that bitch. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel. Broadcast on it. If you
would show that too.
That 10-8 guy, go out there and lock the ball down. That's it.
You was like Prime. He's like, yeah. I gotta get that hammer down. Holding it down like damn, he holding it down.
Y'all got the damn audio in the chat room jacked up. Y'all talking on the damn radio. Y'all got that shit backbeat and pacing out. The speakers can't keep up with that shit.
That's right.
Hey, y'all on the podcast or y'all on the damn radio? That's some good shit. That's some good shit though. But Black man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. You're a true, you're somebody I look up to. And if my haters got a problem with it, I don't give a damn. Because I need my haters every day. I got guys that say slick shit in the comments, this, and I don't care, bro. Because I'm going there and lay my head down. I'm going to sleep, and I'm going to sleep easy at night. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So this is what it is.
I ain't got no problems. Instead of getting up and going to the bathroom, that comes with the age, you know.
That's a whole different show.
You're definitely somebody. I tell 413 all the time. I say, man, I really like to meet that guy, And I was upset that you stopped by his house, man, and you bumped in there.
But
and
that's okay, Jimmy. You forget we met down in Atlanta.
I couldn't hear you.
It was down in
I think if you didn't. I seen you. I think in the cow pasture.
No, we weren't in the cow pasture. We were down lower, Macon.
Macon. Okay.
Yeah. You was there. You talked to me for like 30 seconds. I remember that day. Me and Jimmy was there. Anyway,
I got a picture of you wandering through the motherfucking field all lit up.
Hey, real quick. I'm gonna take a couple questions real quick for you, Black.
Okay.
Got Black Eyes. He said he wants me to ask you about the story about 187. Is that 187 out of New Jersey? Ice, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, That was a Daymate boys over there. Black guys know the damn story.
He wants you to tell it. I guess
I
you
know
want
we
to tell
do.
it.
Listen, me, Painkiller, and our Long Island. You want to have a big boy? There's one for you. Me, Painkiller, and Freddie up there in the Poconos.
Pimp.
We all went down to small drivers break, the 10K shootout.
Mhm.
And Frank says to me, he says, "Hey, you know 187 got you up on the computer. You in Wallbanger, remember I mentioned that?" Says, and he had me associated with a dancing naked baby spinning around, just dancing. When I got back home, I said, "Oh, hell to the no." When I got back home, I pointed that antenna right down New Jersey. I said, "Y'all better call that motherfucker. Tell him to answer this call right now." And I had that mall down there in New Jersey for like 3 days straight. He finally called Black Ice, and Black Ice and him was on the phone. He's like, "Well, I didn't know it was you," because he had me in the graveyard, Ebenezer and Wallbang in the graveyard. I talked about that boy so bad. Painkiller called me up. He says, "Damn, Ricky." He says it only took 3 days for him to take that shit down.
No, we're talking about 187 on New Jersey.
187 after that, because I was on a mission. Every time I heard him, I punished that boy. The Daymate camp is still reeling from that shit.
That was that crazy 187. He passed away, didn't he? That's not that
I
187.
don't know if he passed away. You'd have to ask one of them boys. I don't know.
He's over there with
He's
you
making a
plugging him
comeback.
down.
I mean, I don't know.
He was crazy. He was bad on the
He was
radio.
nuts. I told him, I said, "You don't know me, man." I had him on the phone. I said, "You don't know me." I said, "You lucky I'm one of the nice guys." I said, "Because if you met me 10 years ago, you'd have never knew I existed, but you would never know you gone."
That'd be crazy. God almighty dog. Oh my God. Hey, I tell you, man. Hey, 413. This is what I like right here, man. You see, you get a guy, man, that's got game. You get a guy that can talk, and people are probably sitting here saying, "Man, them guys are doing so much different shit." That was the shift. That was the shift.
We're gonna be all over the place, so y'all gonna have to bear with us.
all
man.
over the place. We're
Yeah,
not.
we're gonna be getting right here.
all different walks, backgrounds, experiences, and everything. So it's great.
Information on
All
the
of my
ball.
brothers out there in the cornfields holding it down. I know y'all drink corn liquor like it pass me out. You know what I mean? So you know what I'm saying? We need that. We need that. And remind us, we all need to stay humble.
Absolutely.
If we all humble ourselves, we'll be a much better community.
Absolutely.
That's my belief.
I just got one more question, man. I just got one more question.
Just one?
For all, yeah, just one, Blake, man. Hey, for all you haters out there, man, viewing you, while they're checking you out, do you have anything to say to them? Do they bother you at all? Let them know they don't bother you. Eating
Let
cake.
them eat cake.
Red velvet cake at that. Red velvet cake.
Up, baby.
Smooth.
That's what's up. This is how upset I am, Jimmy. I am. That's about it.
Get right on that.
They
My
want to
man.
hate.
I'm
I'm not
mad.
your enemy. I'm not your enemy. What are you hating? You
That's
hating
right.
because I talk?
That's what's
You
up.
hating
man.
that I don't have a technician? What are you hating?
There you go.
Am I too black for you? What are you hating? Ask yourself what are you hating. Don't ask me what they hate now. I ain't got nothing to say for them, Jim.
That's exactly how a real CB operator raps it and caps it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Smooth, smooth, and just go right on back to doing what you was doing. If you was working in the wood shop, you working in the wood
go
shop.
down into the war room and just to key up and say audio, test, see if this damn ice is off my antenna. Boy, we got locked in with some ice the other day.
I'll be
Man,
done.
and Jimmy, I got to give him props because there's some stations coming out the northeast corner, man. I mean, just to top them off, man. You got Double Nickel, The Voice, Pimp, 333, 434, BA, Super Truck. There's a whole bunch of them.
Big hammers.
Huh? Big time.
hammers, every last one.
You know, I give credit where credit's due, and man, you do your thing, man. And not only do you do your thing, you actually hold QSOs, you know, and that's what I enjoy about talking to you. We can actually kick it and talk and bullshit and laugh and have a good time about it. It ain't all about fighting all the time.
Yeah, it ain't.
You know, is it okay to fight? Yeah, we fight. You know, it's just it's a competitive sport. I mean, you'd be lying. I'd be lying to say that we don't want to be out there to be on top of somebody, you know, key on somebody and get into a little tussle every now and again. But my hat's off to you, man. Much props to you, Mr. Government Cheese. I still call you by your
You do.
name.
You call me, and my boy out there in the cornfields, he calls me Ashy Knuckles. Ashy Knuckles. Every time he hears me, yeah, I got a couple. You know, I got a couple.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And we would love to have you back on the show again, man. We got something good.
Anything to help you guys along.
Appreciate
if it brings
it,
you ratings because my haters is following, and so be it. I'll come stir the pot with you. I got a big old bachelor,
There you go.
man.
And stay tuned. We got a big announcement at the end of the show. But if you want to kick it, I can keep you on with like Frank Lucas and just hang out with us for the next
I'm
guest.
hanging. I'm here, brother.
Okay, you want to go to break, Jim, or you just want to get the next guest in right now?
You can get the next guest and get this party on and get it thing. But the only thing I want to say to the real black man is I appreciate you coming on the show, man. I appreciate who you are. I appreciate who you are. I appreciate what you stand for, man. And don't change. Because if you can't be you and you can't be true to you,
yeah, man,
you're done, bro. You're cooked.
Right.
You're as done as that cake. Gone. It's just gone. It's out of here. You know what I'm saying? So just keep doing you, bro. I like your style. That's why you're here, and I like your QSO on the bowl, bro.
Yeah, you got a couple guys up in here shouting you out. You got the voices up in here. You got Hambone. Big Shot, Tony Montana wanted me to shout you out.
Tony Montana.
Big Showtime over there in the islands, man, in the Hawaii Islands.
Yes.
Barry White up there by you. You got
that's my neighbor.
Yeah, you got Black Ice. Man, there's a whole bunch of guys there. Fred and More Fred.
What's up, Fred?
Wesley Wood.
Motor Doctor.
Motor Doctor, yeah, man. Motor Doctor, that's right. Chris Wood, his brother.
Novocaine. He's my neighbor too. He's behind me. I'm dying to get him to put up a damn tower and shit. I went over there when he first moved in. I'm like, okay, we can put it right here, man. Right here.
Crack saying what's up. You got Black Smoke in the Carolinas. All of them giving you love, man, shouting it out. And just appreciate you coming on, man. Like I said, what we're trying to do is just get a feel. We're going everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We're going northeast, southwest. We're going everywhere. We're trying to get a feel from everybody. There's a plethora of information on 27.025. Different characters. You know, we're going to get guys that are hated, guys that are loved, but we're going to get everybody. We're not going to red dot nobody. We ain't bouncing nobody. We're going to let everybody have an opportunity to speak their mind. And we're going to ask the questions people are thinking. Don't hold it on us, on me and Jimmy. We just asking the questions. We're going to get the answers from you guys. You know what I'm saying? And it's questions that people want to know. You know, I think it's, relevant questions in my opinion. But, man, love to have you on. Appreciate you coming on, brother. What we doing, Jimmy? We going to wrap it and cap it or what?
We're going to wrap it. I mean, this is a round table tonight. I mean, everybody's just sitting here and we're hanging out. We're going to move on. We're going to get the next. This guy right here, man. You know, this is an interesting character. This guy. This guy come to the bowl. I mean, this guy brought some energy to the bowl. You know, some love him, some hate him. But you know, you're gonna have that. But you know, I had a phone call today. And I told the dude on the phone, I said, listen, I said, up on this cast, man, I said, it's radio 101. I said, dude got a radio, dude got a box, dude got some talk. Dude's going, if dude wants to be a part of the cast, he's going to get a part of the cast, you know? So y'all give it up. We're going to go right on into this because this is going to get a little deep right here. We're going to bring Mr. 955 out of the Bighorn, state of Texas, up in here with us tonight, everybody.
What up, 955?
What's up?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, John. Good to see you on here, man. Glad to have you on here and be a part of it with us.
No
Correct.
government names. No government names. 955.
That's it. I don't know how anybody's supposed to follow up after these two gentlemen. I mean, come on. Each one of them said they don't know how they're going to follow up, and then y'all put my ass last.
We told you we gotta have different flavors, man. Different flavors. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep the pot stirred up. We're gonna just move around, going from man. We went from the Bahama Islands all the way to the northeast corner, all over now to Texas. It's like we got ADHD, but it's all good because we're gonna cover. Eventually, we're gonna cover everybody around the state. So, welcome to the show, bro. I'm
glad to be here. You did say that right. I'm sure most operators do have ADHD, so we'll go ahead and go with that.
Well, there's hey 955. There was somebody that said something in the comments. They said that I'm moving or I wiggle around or I move too much. Man, let me tell you something. When you take my ADHD ass and sit me down for this damn long, man, I'm used to walking around and babbling on pal talking shit and moving. When you strap me down like this, I'm completely out of my zone for a minute. But I can't help but to notice real quick. What is all this shit you got going on over there on that back table, man?
I'm looking at that too, man.
He lucky I'm not. Hey, he lucky I ain't got the technical savvy to zoom in on what he got behind his shoulder over there.
Well, we need to get that. We need to get
big ass Jennings and is that a water cool tube? It looks like a water cool tube.
It looks you know what, John? Pick that thing up before we get into anything. Show us what you got right there real quick.
It looks small it looks small back here.
No, that's a big ass tube.
It sure is.
Yeah, that's a big water cool tube. That's a 20, right?
4CW, 100,000.
That's the 100. Yeah.
Well, put that bad boy.
Y'all hear that?
Put that bad boy back down on the table, and everybody y'all.
Can I rent that up in here in the northeast corner for a little bit? I want to play with the watch these boys got.
I know you're right. So, hey, I'll tell you what, and everybody knows how I do hospitality. And you can come hijack my station anytime. I let people do it all the time. I've had guys come down, man, and I really enjoy it. A lot of smaller guys is what I like. And they get a chance to key on a big station. And they go out there and they have a ball. They're whooping everybody's ass that they can't whoop. And I always tell them, though, they'll be in there for hours keying that shit. And I always tell them, remember, you got to go home.
Yeah. Well, y'all put y'all seatbelts on. Everybody put their seatbelts on, and I want to pull some information out of this cat right here, man. I want to work him over just right. Hey, black man, we're gonna well done him. That's what we're gonna put him on the barbecue grill, and we're gonna well done him.
I got the fork. Just let me know when the shit.
You got the fork and the cake. You got the cake still knotted up on the tip of it.
I got a little bit up in there.
First of all, man, I'm super glad that you're on the show and you're joining us and took the time out of your busy schedule. I understand, when I reached out to you, what a work schedule, what a day you put in. I think you said you were doing like 14, 15-hour days, 16-hour days, some days, grinding and getting it. But I want to kind of dive right off in this with you, and I want to same kind of question, I start off with, and I feel like it's a pretty commonly asked question, but it's a very important question also.
Correct.
Who is 955 and where did 955 come from?
Man, I mean, honestly, I don't even remember how that, as far as even the name, the handle that come out when the Strikers first came out. I was one of the first people to do high fidelity audio on a Striker, and people see that, D-Rail does this, he does his thing, he does that, later on in the show, people know the Motor Mouth's coming on there. He'll be able to kind of validate that. I was one of the first people to ever run high fidelity audio on a Striker. And back then I was on the radio way before that, but as far as getting call signs and this and that, I didn't know how the hell to talk. And there's people that'll validate that. They say I still don't know how to talk. But the thing is I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was out there. I was on a 4-1000. The amplifier used to be called Black Betty. John will know about that. And hell, I didn't know anything. I got out there and I hear these guys talking, and I hear people say what they're on and this and that. And I started telling them, hey, man, I'm on this Striker, this 955, man, I'm out of Texas. And it just picked up. Everybody said, hey, 955, you down there in Texas, That's what carried on, and that's what it did. I'm sure I would have loved a different name, but, that's what stuck, and that's what I was called, and that's what everybody went by, I can remember probably as long as I could remember when I was a child, my grandfather was into radios. My dad was into radios. My mom met my father over CB radio. They went on their first dates because of CB radio stuff. There was no cell phones and stuff back in the day. My grandfather, he ran a water well company, so he went by the water well man, and my mother went by the coal miner's daughter, and so on. And that's how all that happened. So growing up as a kid, me as in any pickup truck my parents had, had a radio. So to me, it's there's nothing abnormal or different about a radio being in something or being around it. I get a lot of people that come in my office. This is my office here at work, and people come in and visit, be like, what is all that shit you have? I don't understand what that is, and I get people, I've gotten, people that are real well off, business people that own multi-million-dollar companies, and they've laughed at me. They think it's completely and utterly stupid what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Join the club. Join the club.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I have no clue. I'm a junkie. What about y'all? Who else is junkie?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll have to turn into an AAA then.
Yeah.
But
Because
there's been so in my growing up, there's been a tremendous bunch of ridicule, you know what I mean?
Right.
Of why I do it and why this, why that, because I was around it so young. It would be things that I talk about. And the only people that understood it was the older generation. Because they remember their parents. They said they used to talk on the radio, so on. So any kind of younger generation or anybody in any kind of a relative situation, they didn't know what the hell I was talking about.
Right.
No interest in talking about it. I could be watching a video on my phone about a video gate, and I got to cut it off, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to, people, what the hell is he doing, But,
Right.
I mean, I love it. And I just, I'm glad I can do what I am doing and what I'm going to do. So.
Right. So that leads up to like kind of the next thing. I mean, with the guy doing what you're doing, what you got currently going on, the energy that you've got. So you're doing all what you're doing on a single tube box, and I think that's what you've been on. And then you got these big builds going on. I mean, when you say 413, Mr. Daytona, when you say Jimmy, what's going on out there, what's popping. Well, we look at it as an overall big view, and we look at what Frank Lucas has got going on with hospitality. We look at the black man bringing game in QSO. Now we're looking at you for bringing who comes to the bowl. Who comes to the bowl built by Ghost Rider 315s? You know what I'm saying? Who's got currently one tube running? Who's got 315s being delivered next week? And who is currently building 100,000 water cooled? I mean, who does this and running 20,000 volts on high voltage and stuff? I mean, who I'm
Right.
serious. I mean,
Right.
we laugh, we cut up, we joke, but this is more of a thing like who does this kind of shit? Not the normal, you know what I mean? So my next question to you is,
you right?
I have to ask you, what is making you, what is driving you, what is your energy driven on to do something like that?
Well, I think if you want to know the honest truth, and it goes back to where people come from family and do stuff like that. A lot of people have known me for a long time. When my daughter was born, I had priorities to take care of. I had You know, my daughter was born disabled, so that was something I had to deal with for quite a while. And that was what I figured that's what my life was. That's what I had to deal with. There wasn't no more playing. There wasn't extra money for radio stuff. There wasn't any of that, you know. So I gave it up, and I focused on what I had to do. And my daughter lived till she was 4.5, and she passed away. And so I even then, after that happened, I didn't want to talk to nobody. I couldn't talk to nobody. I would reach out to certain CB guys and keep in touch and talk with them. And everybody always wanted me to get back on, you know what I mean? But I couldn't, because I couldn't face nobody. I couldn't talk to nobody. Even hiding behind a microphone, as silly as that sounds to some, you know what I mean? So, you know, business has always been, you know, good for me, but and I'm sure people always wonder, you know, how did John do this? How does he afford this shit? You know what I mean? Rich parents. I don't have nobody. My parents actually are. My dad's the only one I got left, you know. I've always been an engineer as far as welding, fabricating. And I actually I have 3 U.S. patents that I did for Schlumberger for the oil field company.
Nice.
That's where you would call where my mailbox money comes from.
Nice.
But I earned it, you know what I mean? I worked my ass off, and I still do today. And the thing about it is once I got around to being able to talk and be open with people, and started getting back towards radio stuff, and I just decided that I put it down for so long that I didn't want to play no more.
Right.
So when I came back, you know, I reached out to John, you know, which is Motormouth, which mentored me 15, 20 years ago. And from the beginning, our first conversation, I asked him if he would design an antenna. He said he'd be honored to do it. You know, and he asked me where I wanted to go with this. And from the beginning, point blank, before I ever stepped on the airwaves, I wanted to have the largest station in Texas, period, if not bar none, the south part of the United States.
Wow.
That was my goal.
My man.
So, you know, when I first stepped out onto the bowl, which, like y'all's story, you know, I've been on the radio since I was a kid, but I guess to the bowl, I've only been on the bowl now a little over a year.
Right.
You know, and I think in that short time, I've done some pretty crazy things.
No, I'd say big stuff. I wouldn't say crazy. Yeah. I mean, crazy to who? Crazy to what? I mean, define crazy at that point, because
I got a question, if I may. Sure. Can I ask him something?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. For the people who don't know, including myself, what size cable do you run for 100,000 watts?
So right now, people wonder why I'm down, or I'm technically not down. I can key anytime I want and put it on anybody's ass if I need to. But
That's the disclaimer right there.
right, I'm just choosing not to, because I figure, I mean, give them a break. But I'll be on 3 1/8. I'm on 3 1/8. 3 1/8 out of the shack, up to the tower, and then it'll run into 1 5/8 as far as the rotor feed.
So you can move it. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Even right now, you see people running big line, and then they run 393, or they run some small coax for
a loop. Yeah.
For a loop. You know what I mean? Yeah. And people say it can't be done. Well, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I'm 80 something foot of antenna with 1 5/8 direct fed all the way to the hairpin. And
that's it.
Pictures of my beam. I mean, there's 1 5/8.
And you reduce that 3 1/8 down to the 1 5/8.
Correct.
Okay. Who's makes the 3 1/8?
Andrews.
Okay.
Correct. At that.
So you're taking.
Go ahead.
So you're taking like, you're coming off the 1 5/8. You're going to 3 1/8 now. You got the great big Ghost Rider being delivered. It's coming in. You got the single tube currently that you've been blowing. You know, you've been hammering down out there on the band. A lot of guys,
Wait
you
a
know.
minute, you're getting 315s?
I seen it. I seen it.
You seen it?
I
Okay.
saw it.
Oh shit.
We got to get through this. We got to get through this. So we got 315s coming in. We got 315s coming in. We
And
got a
100,000
current
being
single
built.
15
Goddamn.
that he's running, and then he's got the big build going on right now over there on the back burner. So kind of like for the viewers' point and what we got going on, kind of like update everybody because there's a lot of smoke in the air. You know what 955's got going on, what 955 don't have going on. You know, let the viewers know kind of like currently where are you standing with this big build? Because ever since Greenville, this big build has been the talk. The water-cooled box has been the talk of the town.
Right. Well, and that's, you know, what's crazy is that's everybody's conversation. It's a single 100,000, but you know, everybody's sniffing their nose up at 315s, you know, but the way I look at it, you know, Real Black Man's caught me on the band before. We've talked plenty of times. Anybody that's caught me on the band plenty of times know that with a single 15, you know, and the biggest Yagi in Texas, period, bar none, I've always done well. You know, I've always been able to hold my own. If I'm out there and if I'm talking, you know, like Frank said, people get out there and you want to lock it down. You know what I mean? I've done it.
Right.
For what I wanted to do, I've held my own. And so
Sure.
I think
I can attest you got a mall come up in the northeast corner. I don't know about what everybody else hearing it, but I've heard it.
Yeah, you got Big Hammer. And what I like about 955 is when he was doing the build on the antenna, he kind of actually showed it on Facebook.
right.
Beautiful work, by the way. Beautiful craftsmanship.
Nice work.
And nice work, beautiful work. And not only this, you know, we could, you know, people will say, well, he's just dumping money to get big watts, but he's actually got his hands in it. He's learning. And we've talked about in prior shows, the knowledge comes with the money, you know what I mean, before the money. And he's doing it step by step. He's actually putting his hands. He's not getting people to come over. And
that's a good thing.
He's not going to have the box there and not tune and have his technician tune in and then nobody else touch it. You know, he's actually he's learning, you know what I mean? And everybody here in this round table, including the people that listen, learn something new every day. I don't care. They could deny it. They could be whatever they want about it, but we learn something new every single day on the boat.
Oh, 100% correct. And that goes back to, I wasn't trying to get off the subject of the 100,000 or anything, but, you know, from the beginning, when I decided and I talked to John and said, hey, I'm going to come to the bowl. That was the thing. Come to the bowl, be the biggest station in Texas. So what do you have to do that? A lot of people don't even understand that Ghost Rider amplifier, you know, and hopefully maybe one day we could even get Ghost Rider on here. He'll let you know that was paid for in cash before I ever even stepped foot on the band. That amplifier was paid for, ordered, and started getting going.
And I can't even buy the sampler for that box.
Yeah.
So when I started to do that, what comes next? You know, you have to have service.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Luckily, Motormouth will be able to tell you step by step. You know what I mean? I built the entire station. You know, there's a separate amplifier room, separate studio. You know, one of the walls are cladded for RF. You know, so on, grounding systems. We did all of that. Then the studio's up and going. I piddled with a 5,000 on a ground plane. Kind of messed around with that. Then went to a 10. Then went to a 15. And when I say those numbers, I mean each one of those boxes within the matter of the same month.
Right.
Wow.
And I knew that I had the big box being built, but I didn't know what he was going to take. Somebody had a 5, bought a 5, man, this shit ain't cutting. Get a 10, this ain't cutting the mustard. Put a 15, okay, now I can at least do something.
Right.
You know, and a lot of people, even Frank said in his situation with power, you can't be anybody if you can't run this shit, period.
Right.
You know.
So what is your service looking like to run that beast? What is it that
I
you have
two,
now?
Yeah, I have two services. I have a 175 amp ground mount on a 1200 amp panel, And then I have my original 75 kVA on a 400. That's what I started with, was a 400 amp at 75 kVA.
You got the juice.
Right. So I have the stuff that my house is on, which my house is actually being built out there, which is on a single 50. And then I have a ground mount 75 and then a ground mount 175.
Wow.
So a 400 amp panel on one side of the building and then 1200 amp panel on the other side.
Damn.
So in your goal, you got all this stuff you got going on. Like, man, you ain't taking second place, huh?
No. I mean, I really, like I said, and people have caught me on the band and do this and do that. Like, I hand out ass whoopings, but I kind of do it pretty polite.
Yeah.
You know, and I try to be a gentleman about it. You know what I mean? I try to tell them, hey, look, you know, they had a good run. You know, go get yourself something cold to drink, but it just ain't your time. You know, I try to ease them into it, but I don't try to be a jackass about it. There's a lot of people that are pretty cruel on the band, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
For me, never being on the bowl
Quite a bit.
and just coming to the bowl with a shitload of power and a big antenna, I've caught probably more ridicule than a lot of people have in their entire.
So the big antenna. So we got the boxes, we've got all that covered, the power supply. Let's talk about the big antenna, because man, I seen that thing, and I'm gonna tell you something. I mean, all the guys at the table here tonight, everybody gave you accolades on the welding work and the fab work, and that's my trade. So I mean, hats off to you on it. I mean, when I looked at that, I said, man, that's a hell of an antenna. I said, man, that antenna has got to be on a damn tower. You understand what I'm saying? You can't put that shit on no Ron 25 or 45 and stand it out there in some backyards of shit, you know. But I mean, hats off to the beam. But let's talk about the beam a little bit.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know if you want to inquire, you know. I mean, you got a room here. We got people around the table. We got some viewers, you know. I don't know what your cutoff point is, you know. How long is the antenna? Tell us about the antenna. Did you build the antenna? Did you design the antenna yourself?
No. So my first antenna was actually 60 foot. It was designed by Motormouth. And the biggest situation is that a lot of people don't understand. Again, I couldn't make a power move. I could have made a power move, but at that time, and even now, you know, I have too many amplifiers. You know, I've got a single 3000, two 3000, single 5, single 10, single 15, pair of 8, single 8, 4 8s. You know, I've got too many boxes. So buying another amplifier wasn't why. You know, I mean, why? I mean, I already got anything you need anyway. So an antenna is everything, period. That makes the station in whole from the beginning, from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 60 foot, we looked at 60. John looked at the measurements. We looked at that, looked at the dB gain factor, and figured in if I did something a little drastic and went kind of overboard, it would almost be like doubling my power.
Yeah.
So that was the next step. You know, I came out with a 60 foot on a 10. Then I went to a 15 on the 60 foot. And I think it took me about a month to build the big beam, you know, swap that out. And when I got out there, it was like, again, like I done put two 15s and I'm running and gunning with everybody.
Wow.
And so
It's crazy.
You know, going from 60 to 80 foot for me was more than 3 or 4 S unit difference, considering conditions and so on, you know, for some
You
people.
definitely notice the difference.
Correct. There were some people I only had them 30, 40 dB, you know, say up in the northeast corner, something like that. Almost any given day that I could put that 80 footer up there, I put people 50, 60 dB until I stopped talking.
So it's safe to say, so like at the time, I mean, you were reaching out, Motormouth Mall was kind of like your guide, your mentor more, shall I say?
Correct. Definitely a mentor.
From the
Always
60?
has been.
Okay, always has been. So you reached out to Motormouth Mall and you got together. I'm just trying to get all this right in my head. You guys had a 60 footer. You guys had a 60 footer, and then you wanted to re-up, and you come back with what size that you're currently on now?
Right. So everybody put on.
Is he lagging on your end?
He's lagging. Give him a second. Give him a second. There you go. Now you're back. Try it again.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you were lagging. So I was asking you, I was like, so currently you're on the 60 footer Motormouth Mall mentor for you on that deal. You know, y'all decided to go from 60 to 80. So was Motormouth Mall was he the mentor? Was he the one that designed that 80 foot that you're currently on now?
Oh yes, 100%. You know, like I said, it's 80, a little over 80 foot element to element on 90 foot of boom.
Wow.
Jesus.
A lot of people don't even understand. You know, you see a lot of guys that whatever boom length they have, that's what they tell you their antenna is. And there's a lot of that goes on. You know, people leave a little extra and they say, oh, that's how big it is. You know what I mean? You know, my specs are a little over 80 foot, you know, with 90 foot of boom, but I just tell them it's 80 foot. That's what it is.
Wow.
But,
and you see, and to you, it's different with you, you know, because, you know, haven't really interviewed somebody like this before that's kind of got all this big energy laid out on the table. Not to say that you're more 10-8 than the other operator. It's just you got a lot of irons in the fire, man. I mean, you got all this stuff going on with the new build and what you currently got being delivered with Ghost Rider. I mean, what do you see yourself? How are you going to balance this out?
well, like, I don't know if, I mean, you know, I've thought about that as well. I mean, of course, you know, we're going to be on the 315s until at least till the summertime, until I can start to wrap up on the 100,000. It sounds ridiculous, but those 315s will probably end up on a ground plane. I mean, what else are you gonna? I mean, I got to do something with it. You know what I mean? I've got 2 designated towers. You know, I got a ground plane 72 foot. You know, fed with 1 5/8".
So now that we kind of hear what you got going on, what you're talking on, what build you got going on, what is the bowl to you? To have that kind of stuff, when you look at the bowl, what do you get out of the bowl?
Man, honestly, I get a lot of enjoyment, and I get a lot of pleasure of learning from every operator. You know, I get to take everybody's styles and learn a little bit from each person's style.
That's it right there.
And grow my own style. Because you remember this, like
Right.
I said, like Frank said, he done a lot of homework. A lot of sitting and a lot of listening. I just come up with a crazy ass idea and fell through with it. That's it.
That's awesome. Can I ask him something real quick, Jimmy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now we got established that you had a 15. You're getting 3 15s from Ghost. Now who's doing that build on that 100,000? If you want to elaborate on that a little bit.
So it's kind of basically I kind of got tired of Pal Talk. Kind of ruined me a little bit with this. You got Ghost Rider Clan, you know, stuff like that. So they automatically think that, you know, everybody's kind of seen it. You know, you get the Ghost Rider guys. Oh yeah, no, he's in our camp. He's doing this. He's doing that. And I paid to have an amplifier built, and I will always appreciate that. I'm grateful for that. But at the end of the day, I'm a paying customer.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't want to be a part of a camp, if I don't want to be a part of anything like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same thing like the Dave Made guys. When something's built by somebody else, you always get that, oh, that's so-and-so. That's so-and-so stuff. And so I've, you know, reached out to even a couple of you and a couple of other people, you know, Motormouth, Prime, BBI has a couple of things in it. And I plan on reaching out to a couple of other people that want to put in their knowledge behind it. And as far as the cabinet, the placement and everything, I'm reaching out to different people for stuff like that. And most of it I'm going to build myself.
Cool.
And then with the technical parts, you know, whoever I need to get to fill in or fly in or do whatever I need to do, because this is kind of something that's,
Yeah, it's a big project.
it's not something you can ship off to somebody. I mean, the cabinet right now is it's a 4 foot by 4'8" by 8 foot long. Is the RF.
Jeez.
And it's bigger than my.
Quick question: what? How many plate does it take to run that 100,000 tube on the
So
plate?
my transformer's I think it weighs right at 1,950 pounds. The
Yeah.
plate transformer. And there's 6 taps on there, so we can go all the way from 7,000 volts to a little over 20,000 volts.
Where the hell did you get that from?
I'm serious.
Where'd you get that?
Electrical power source built it.
Really?
Wow.
Down there in Texas?
No, in I can't remember. Jimmy knows where they're at. They're right down from EPD.
Yeah, they're
Really?
up there.
Okay.
They're up there in Carolinas, Kakalakis.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Electrical what?
Got a tag somewhere. I think it's a electrical power source or something like that.
Okay. I'll have to keep mental note of a wish list that'll never get fulfilled.
As long as you put on the list,
Hey, black man, that's a hell of a stocking, man, to be at the door.
Oh my God.
yeah.
Hey, you got to be in it to win it. You better hit that
If
lottery.
I had me a little power up here, I'd be a dangerous man.
413. What's that saying you always say? If you puff, smell it, or pass it, you and Cracks got that
Oh,
shit down pat.
You can't puff or sniff it. You got to be born with it.
Yeah. That's how that shit's gonna go right there. But no, on a real note, you know, I mean, that's some serious shit you got going on out there, you know.
Right.
I mean,
And I guess the biggest thing is, as far as with the antenna, everybody knows that John designed the antenna. But in my station, even when it comes to repairs, breakdowns, anything like that, even John will be able to kind of explain, because I go to him for different things. You know what I mean? Nobody in history can't say that they ain't never broke an amplifier.
Yeah.
So it's their choice if you got your technician to come do it, or you send it off, or if you decide to be the hands-on guy. And well, Jimmy, you've seen a few things that I've broke before. So I mean, like I said, I decided I wanted to do it myself. Like I said, get away from the labels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I built my station in less than, I've been out there a year now, but my station from start to stop was on the air with a 15 and 80 foot antenna in 6.5 months.
Right.
And most, you know what I mean? For what most people have done, that's probably a bigger station than most people could dream of having.
Oh yeah.
Mine ain't that big.
You didn't get there yet. You didn't
Mine
get there
ain't
yet.
that big.
You're out there a whole lot more than I am, though. But
I have
and that's
something
the-
to do for.
you know.
How do you deal with all the hatred and shit that gets raffled up and blows your way? Because face it, you got haters, man. I mean, you got haters whether you want them or not. When you do the
Right.
big stuff that you're doing, and you know, I mean, you call in and order 315s, and people find out that them 315s are coming to the big star, the big horn. I mean, you got haters whether you want to put your gloves on or not.
Right.
You've got to face them. So how do you face them?
Oh, man. That's it.
By building the largest 11-meter amplifier to ever be on the band. The
He got
largest.
goals. He got goals, baby. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Bulls.
But you know, me
Yeah,
being
but
a
that-
realist, me being a realist, I have to ask you, and I'm sure this is in some of the viewers' minds too. If you get your ass whooped, and you've peaked out, I mean, once you build that right there between me and you, no one else listening to that question. Once you build that right there, I mean, what more, what bigger is there even to go? You know,
Right. Not really. Not anything, honestly. I mean, even as it now, I'm a really good sport, man. And there's been a lot of people that are not good sports. You know what I mean?
right?
It's true.
I
Mhm.
had people come to me with checklists. Say you need to beat this person, this person, this person, this person. I've always said that I was the big man and a big star. If anybody needs me to stand up, you know, I'm a little over 260. I'm a big man.
Right.
That's where that comes from.
A
You know
big
what I
man
mean?
with a
So-
big box.
That's it. Big man, big box, big antenna, big service, big wire, big everything.
Well, everything's bigger in Texas, right?
That's right.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
But the thing about it was that was the 100,000 build kind of really inspired that. You know what I mean? If people want to be in my ass and not really be real honest with themselves or with their stations, you know, people want to talk about the pecking order of Channel 6. You have to have these right. You have to follow this and do this and these guidelines. There is no rules on the band.
No rules.
But yet we still have grown men that have been operators for years that still can't just say good job.
Mm.
Right.
Amen.
It
We
doesn't
can agree to
it doesn't
disagree
take-
on
it
this.
doesn't
That
take much.
pride. It's that pride, bro. It's that pride.
Correct, but it
That
doesn't. It
hammer.
doesn't take much. You know what I mean? It doesn't take much. I've gotten racial stuff said against me. I've gotten all, you know what I mean, cussed out, and yet I'm still respectful to all of those people.
Right.
Mhm.
And people ask me, you know, what are you gonna do?
Right.
I mean, if
Right.
you know what I mean, if they don't want to, you can't say good job.
That's it.
Well, then you just can't talk.
Yeah.
Period.
Right.
Don't have nothing good
Yeah.
to say it at all.
Right, or you won't be able to say it at all until I get off of it.
Key on the ass.
How did like when you say you've had racial statements, you know, made towards you? How do you deal with that?
I mean, I'm not ever, you know, I don't have any much to say about it. You know what I mean? I just treat them with respect. They can say whatever they want to say. I'm just going to be respectful right to them. I mean,
Right.
and
Kill 'em with
I
kindness.
noticed it just pisses them off even more. And I'm okay with that too. Like I said, they've had about right at a month to get plenty of talk time.
Kill them with kindness.
I got a question that just popped into me. It says, Jimmy, ask him who was his competition when he was running that 80 foot and 15 kW.
Shit. Who do we need to name? I guess because evidently I had a checklist.
Yeah, you had a checklist.
I had a checklist that I had to abide by. I mean, you know, probably one of the first ones on the list that everybody wanted me to go against was Big Boss. You know, King Arthur 418, $5 radio. I don't even know who threw him in there, but they said I needed to. That's easy work.
Yeah.
You know, and so on. It's so many people.
There's some big stations in Texas. There's some big
Yeah.
stations in Texas.
And the thing about it
Take
is,
nothing away from anybody over there.
and the thing about it is, I give all of those guys credit. All those guys are 100% great operators. One of the most, I'll always give respect to Arthur, King Arthur.
Oh yeah. King Arthur.
I've went up against him and straight smacked him upside his head with that antenna and taken him out. And the only thing he could say was good job. And I think even to Motormouth, I stood by while he told him, he said, I cannot believe that man is 8.5 hours from me and I can hear him clean as day.
Wow.
I got guys in Dallas running 20, 30,000 watts and I can't even hear him across the block.
And that's on the single tube. That ain't even the 3-tuber yet.
Correct.
Damn.
That ain't even the single big single tube. That's
Right. And so, and like I said, so every time I get,
Processing this.
go ahead, Jim.
No, I'm just backfeeding a little bit. We're lagging somewhere. I'm not sure.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'm saying I'm just processing all of this. This is a lot to take in. So I'm just a real black man. You're looking at me. I'm thinking the same thing you're thinking. We're just processing this, man, while we're sitting here around the table, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I love it. I love
Those
it.
big hammers, and kudos to you to get under the band and come straight. You're one of the gentlemen that I was talking about. Not a lot comes straight to the band with big power in the game, but you went to the right people. It goes back to what Jimmy said. You have to humble yourself and speak to the right people.
Correct.
Same thing with business. People who are in business emulate themselves and surround themselves with successful people. They ain't in business hanging around no goddamn bums.
Birds of
Yeah,
another
When you
flock.
come to the radio, you know, I hate to throw the mud duck word out there, but you don't go to any mud ducks. And not everybody who's got 50, 60, 70,000, 80,000 watts is 10.8. And not everybody who's got 4,000 is a mud duck. So you have to understand who is doing what, know the players in the game, how they operate, what their stations are, who their competition is, what area they're in. And
Right.
that's a lot to take in. And you jumped right in with both feet. You had good help with Motormouth Mall and his network of 10.8 operators. So you were in good hands when you came, and you do a wonderful job. I mean,
Right.
I've heard you hammer down up in here with the best of them. So
Right.
I'm looking forward to hearing 315s. I'm looking forward to that. And I don't even know. I think I want you to call me and let me know when you key that fucking thing down so I can just RF it back. Yeah.
8955. I was by Ghost and I saw the monster. I was like, what the hell is that? He said, I'm just billing it for somebody. was like, who the hell gonna run that? And now, lo and behold, you, man, everything's bigger in Texas, it appears. But I like your style, though. I like your style. Like my grandfather said, if you can't go first class, don't go at all. And obviously, you're a first class kind of guy. I like that.
Well,
Right.
you got that struck my attention when he said that. You've dealt with quite a bit of technicians. You just didn't kind of just, storefront shop and go in just with one guy, if I'm not mistaken.
No, not at all. The first person I ever called was BBI. And BBI said, man, I got a waiting list of like 2 years. I really don't mess with bass sound. Call Daryl. So I was like, okay, let me reach out to Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider had a big presence here in the Bahamas. So it was like nothing to jump over to Fort Lauderdale. But the first time I spoke to him, I think he thought I was joking. I guess he gets a lot of calls. So I said, so what I need to start? And he gave me a figure. So the next day, I had somebody drop some cash off. And he called me. And he's like, I think you got my attention. So I said, I got your attention? So he said, yeah. So I said, I want a single. And then chatter started to go off around here. And then everybody was like, yeah, I'm going to get a single too. So I was like, you know what, Ghost? Build me some twins. So he was like, all right.
Let's get ahead of the game.
Yeah, he's like, 10-4 copy. And like right now, like I told you, Jimmy, I got some people that, some people out there that don't like what I'm doing. So I'm going to do just like 955 did.
All the guys on 27.025 has haters. There's no way around it. It's how you handle your haters is what makes you prevail from that point. I don't think a box is going to help you out. You got to you need watts, but you also need to learn how to run your radio, and you need to learn how to use your radio with Mother Nature. If you can't use your box with Mother Nature, then you can have the biggest box in the world, and you're still going to be a damn mud duck, in my opinion.
How many boxes I've sent back? I've jacked up, overdriven. I think about 4 last count. And I ain't gonna talk about the ones I just threw away. Like I had a brand new box built, and
Well, I threw them away too.
I keyed it down, and I was like, I called the guy who built it, and he was like, he just said the wrong thing. I made it a paperweight. I was about to take it to the gun range and shoot it, but that's another show.
Hey, but let me tell you something. What we got to do is we got to go to Texas, man, and we got to wait for 955. We got to wait for 955 to throw some shit away, and then we got to be there when he gets aggravated. Now 955. I don't know if you'll ever get aggravated, but if you get aggravated, call a Hammer Down show, and we'll have all the guests. This will be part of the show. So all the guests that we've had on the show will all fly over, and we'll come out there and we'll pick the scraps up. What you don't want.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. And go, just to step back a minute, like what Frank is saying. He took the cash there. Now he knows he's not playing, and I'm sure everybody can relate to this. It's easy to call up somebody and say, hey, I want this. What do you think about 2 of them? What do you think about a big single? How many of these guys call these technicians and they're wanting and they're dreaming, holding up their time, and ain't even got $1 to spend?
Window shopping.
Yeah, window shopping.
A lot of window shopping, you know what I mean? And that's when and again, Motormouth couldn't think of anybody right away. Said, why don't you just go to Daryl, go to Ghost Rider, you know what I mean? And and so that's how that happened. And
did you jump the line, 955? I had to jump the line.
Hey, let me ask you Ghost Rider guys something. We got some Ghost Rider guys in the room. Let me ask you Ghost Rider guys something. Are y'all on a plaque somewhere, man? Y'all got a plaque going on or something that I don't know about?
Nah, man. We just, hey, listen to me, Jimmy. You know what I realized? There are guys who have a ghost, and then there are guys who just want to have a ghost. It's either you
I can
got
agree
a ghost.
with that. I like that.
But a ghost,
that worked.
I mean, for me, there are box builders, and at the time when I was inquiring about a box, I had not, I didn't know about a Swagger. The only thing anybody ever said to me was Camel Way and Ghost Rider out of Florida. Okay. And it wasn't until after I got the Ghost, and I think I spoke to you by way of 43 looking for the proper driver. And you helped me out as much as you could. And everywhere I went looking for a driver, I could not find a driver. And finally, bought something brand new, 2 800s. And that's where I am today. But
Right.
Hey, I'm not limited to I'm not endorsed or I'm not sponsored by any one person. So
Right.
I just like a good technician. I just want my stuff done right. And the thing for me is, what I liked about Daryl was every time I called him, he was always there. Whether it was my electrician calling him to tell him what kind of lines to put in, what to do, where to put stuff. Because like I said, if you can invest that kind of money, I heard horror stories of guys getting boxes shipped to them and then they do the wrong thing. So for me, I took the time out. I said, Ghost, I need you to fly down, tell me what it is, and fly down and make things right. Because I didn't feel it was right for me to spend that kind of money and then I go mess up a doorknob or something ain't done right. So I had him here. He sat down, he tuned the box. He did it. I said, if he built it, he should tune it. I watched everything he did. He showed me walked me through it. But for me, it was a good fit, you know, and then he actually has roots down here in the Bahamas too. So, you know, for me, I was happy with Ghost, but like I said, I'll entertain anybody who's going to make sure I'm right in 10-8. But that's just the way it is, Jimmy. I got your number now. So, you know,
You gonna get you a Swagger box?
Oh,
No.
I might be. Hey, ain't nothing wrong.
Is that what we hearing, Frank?
Ain't nothing wrong with running a Ghost Swagger. What's wrong with you?
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So how many? Let me.
Let me go stir some shit up, Jimmy. Then it goes.
Yes, sir.
I'm deferring. I'm a professional at
You gotta
this shit.
deflect,
Watch how
man. You
I'm
gotta-
gonna go around
You gotta
this
pass
shit.
the other way. You gotta go to the
Watch
left.
watch how I'm gonna turn to the left. Hey, John. I mean 955. Come here. This is Jimmy Swagger right here. Come here, 955. So out of all the stuff that you've had, I'm going left. I'm going left, Frank. See you bye. Hey, so 955. Out of all the stuff, no, good point, Frank. Good point. So out of all the stuff that you've had, I mean, you know, have you ever ran across some stuff that you just wasn't happy with, or was most of it all happy, or did it serve you well, or what?
Man,
Don't call names.
no. So like everybody knows, like my mobile stuff is all Ghost Rider. You know, a lot of it was technical error as far as my part, as far as learning the mobile game. A lot of people don't even understand that either. You know what I mean? Not only did I build a base station, you know, in less than a year, you know, built a mobile and went to a key down, you know, and now I'm actually building a second mobile. You know what I mean? It'll be 215 Ghost Riders in it. You know, but it's just
What class do you plan on going? Just for skip or to go in the key down?
no, it'll be a 3 alternator and up. I plan on doing a 2 alternator, 3 alternator, and an AC Sky.
So I did see something. I did see something on Facebook that there was a mobile up for sale. So do you have, like, starting in the works? Do you have something that's coming where you're going to build a bigger mobile?
It goes back to the same thing with hearing everybody say this was so and so's mobile, this was so and so's box, this was so and so's this. So I'm gonna build it myself from scratch. I built it.
Okay. Wow.
Ain't nothing like putting your hands on it and building it yourself, man.
Correct, and that is a big pet peeve with me. I hate hearing all this stuff. Oh, that was so and so's box, or that was so and so's
I
this.
didn't even know you had a mobile.
You know.
Me either.
So do you think you're going to have time to get to the cow pasture or Louisiana? Or are you going to just settle for the cow pasture, or how's that going to work?
Probably there were. I was going to try to shoot for New Orleans, but I still haven't.
That's tight.
If y'all seen on the floor back here, there's 10 Lease Navilles and about 6 power supplies.
Well,
laying on the ground. You know?
Well, this is 101 radio, right? And you are talking to Jimmy Swagger. It would not. I'm going to apologize for my inappropriate behavior first, but it's my duty to let you know that 5-5 will be in New Orleans.
Correct.
I feel like I would be doing anybody wrong if I didn't tell them that 5-5 is coming to New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
So that's
Which
just a part of
Terry
it.
has actually helped me out quite a bit and taught me
Right.
a lot of stuff.
Right. Yep. Super
So-
good dude. Super smart dude too.
Oh yes, 100%. But as far as like amplifiers go, you know, I don't know if I'd have called names. Everything that I have, put it to that way.
Yeah.
I've had to keep running.
Right. Right.
Okay.
You've had nothing that's like just been unlimited over there. Is that what you're saying?
Jimmy, what you want to say is he ain't had nothing like a black box. That's what you want.
Black box.
That's what
Yeah,
you want.
black box. A black man's box. I got
A
it.
black man's box.
There you go. There you go. But listen, no, so we got to go in. We got to, you know, we've sat around the table. We've covered a lot of grounds, each and all of you guys. All of you guys has contributed. You've brought a big package. You know, everybody's got their own thing, their own way that they're doing big things. Super, a lot of stuff, man. We've got a couple announcements that we got to make. We got to kind of throttle back. We got to go to the right a little bit. We got to touch base on we're doing like 7. How are we gonna
We're gonna
explain
talk about
this?
when we before we sign off real quick. But you done with John? I mean, with 955, we
No,
got.
I wanted to get into the part to where we're talking about the 7 regions and the idea, and I wanted to be able to lay that out and explain that real good and lay the spread out. You know, I mean, we're just sitting around the table bullshitting. So, however, whatever.
Okay, real quick, hey, Frank, I gotta mute you real quick because I got some noise coming from your end. I don't know what it is. So if you gotta say something, just put your hand up and I'll unmute you because it's got a real bad sound. But there you
Oh,
go.
that was Frank's.
Yeah, it was Frank's. Yeah. If you need to say something, just raise your hand. But yeah, man, get it. What you got? What do you got to show me over there, Jimmy? We could get right into it then.
No, I mean, we've covered pretty much everything. I mean, we went through with the whole thing. You know, everybody wanted to, you know, lay this all out, put it on a platform. We brought the Humble in, we brought the Swagger in, we brought the QSO in, we brought the Big Energy with the big upgrades, with the big boxes and stuff. We got that laid out on the table. We got all that hashed out. I've had so many questions about what size antenna 955 was running and what's he got going on with the 100,000 watt, and you know, I mean, so and we got a lot of stuff that we got to get into with the 7 regions and with the upcoming.
Let me get some comments real quick before we. I got a Crack Carter said Prime bill me 20,000. I'm going back to Texas.
Please go. God, you wasn't here plugging. Stay your ass up in the northwest corner. Please, God, no.
Stay right where he's at.
The fat man said 413 with the red dot on Frank Lucas. See, this is what it's about, cutting up with the fellas, man, having some good fun, man. I love when everybody interacts. And man, but John, I know you got big things coming, man. Looking forward to it, man. That beast in the back, man. I'm gonna be glued to my radio, believe you me, because you hit hard as is in Florida. So I can't even imagine what you're gonna do in my radio when you get that 100,000 in there, let alone the 315. So my hats off to you, man. Real Black Man, appreciate you coming on. We're gonna wrap it in cap, man. This is like a marathon. This is like a Jerry. We've been out here for 2 hours and 36 minutes.
I was gonna say about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's been fun, but we gotta bounce, man. Frank, thank you for coming on, bro. Me and Jimmy gonna talk a little bit more about some other stuff. So y'all stay tuned real quick. We got a quick announcement. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
We'll talk soon.
955, you're doing big things. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
showing up.
John, thanks, brother. Thank you, Mr. 955.
Y'all have a good one. Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
Take care,
bro.
955. Take care, everybody.
Yeah, man. So I didn't even look at the time, bro.
No,
Real
I
talk.
didn't.
Real talk. And we held over 100 plus people on the show, which is good. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for the love, guys. Like, share, hit that like button. Go to YouTube, subscribe. But we're talking a little bit about the 7 regions. That's what we're going to talk about. We got a little thing going on to
I wouldn't
where
call it little. It's
Well,
quite big.
It's pretty big. We kind of, man, I don't even know how to put it. You take it away, Jimmy, and then I'll just follow up. How about that?
We're coming in hot. So
Mhm.
what we got is we're wanting to bring something that's bringing fire back. You know, there's fire that's been there before. You've had the belts, you've had the voting that's ran through Pow Talk. Prime Minister put the belts out, laid the belts out there. The belts was a good thing. The voting was a good thing. It all ran through Pow Talk. And, you know, it pushed. It put a push out there on the band. Everybody felt like they needed to do something better. You know, when you go back, you say, man, what does my box need? I want to run against this one. I want to run against that one. So, you know, we just got to wondering, we got to sitting back thinking, what can we come up with to bring a push back, to make something happen, to put a little spark back in it. So what we want to do is what happened? What are you laughing at?
Black Eye said, "Oh shit, here we go."
It's gonna get good. We just got to get through this shit because
They already know Jimmy by his demeanor already. Like,
oh yeah. It's gonna get good. It's just the only thing that I don't like about it is Florida. Florida was the only one that I think that never really got a fair shot at it. But then you come up with the seven ways. So explain the 7 regions of how you've got it laid out.
Well, this is kind of like a rough draft deal. We're gonna have the Northeast. We're gonna have the guys in the lakes, the Buckeye. We're gonna have the Northwest corner. Then we're gonna have the Southwest, which is Texas, Oklahoma. We're gonna have the bottom side, which is gonna be, you know, Louisiana, Mississippi, and then the Southeast. We're gonna have Georgia and Florida, and then we're gonna have the heartland, you know, Kansas, Tennessee, and Kentucky, and all that area. So it's gonna be pretty much 7 regions. We're not gonna go with the traditional 5. We're gonna go with the 7 this time. Make it a little bit more broader, because in the past we had like Georgia would take over and Florida would be lost in the mix, because it's kind of like a 3-section skip zone pretty much, you know what I mean? So we kind of trying to make it a little bit wider into 7 regions.
Right. So we're not doing belts, because belts have already been done. We're not really taking nobody's fame or anything like that, and we're not doing belts. So what we got is I've reached out to a hammer making company, and we're actually going to come up with we already come up with a prototype. I've been working on this for quite a while, so we already got a prototype of our Hammer Down show, and we'll have a hammer, and it'll be a decent size. This thing will be like a 10-pound, 12-pound hammer, and it'll be a plaque, and we'll put it on here, and we're going to demo it all out on video for you guys. So we're going to start in the Northeast corner. We'll have the polls that's in here on the show, and it's a legit poll system. So we'll put 5 people in the ballot for running, right? And then you guys will be the voters. You know, you guys will be able to come in here to a system that's set up to where you'll be able to vote, and you'll only be able to vote one time. There'll be no double voting shit or nothing like that. So it'll be accurate. It'll be legit. Thank you. It'll be legit. So you'll be able to vote one time, then your vote will get counted, and then we'll determine out of those 5 people in that region, which we're going to start with the Northeast corner, of who the winner is. And then the winner will be, we'll have the winner on the show, and then we will mail the winner his Hammer Down trophy on his Hammer Down plaque. And that's kind of like what we're doing. It's kind of like a rough draft vocally telling it, but this has already been in the works as long as what this show has been in the works. So it's not no made up shit, pop up overnight stuff.
Absolutely. We want to recognize, everybody from the region. So what we're going to probably do, like he said, is kind of like a rough draft deal. Come next week or the following week, when we're going to do next week, we're going to start it off with the Northeast, because I know we got a big show. We have Motormouth Mall, so that's.
I would say the week after. The week after. We got a special guest. We got everybody. We put it out there earlier. We got Motormouth Mall. Big shout out to him for coming on the show. He'll be in here Friday night, next Friday night up in here with us. Yep. And I would say the weekend after. But I'm gonna tell you, this is Jimmy you talking to, right? This is late night Jimmy. And I'm going to tell you this right here. If your shit's not right, This right now is the time for you tomorrow morning. Call your techs if they take weekend calls. Make all your complaints. Go ahead and pay your house.
Man,
payment,
you got 955 building this box right now as we speak.
Yeah, build them. They need to build them. They need to build them. If your shit's not right, you need to get it right, because whether you think this ain't going to affect you or not, it is going to affect you, because there's going to be some guys that take off out there and they're going to try to put that damn maul on your ass and hammer your ass. And at the end process of that, they're looking to get the hammer. So,
Absolutely.
some will participate, I feel. Some will be like, oh, here we go again. But it is what it is. It's happening. So
you can't make everybody
here.
happy, Jimmy. You can't
You're
make
not
everybody happy. What we're going to do, we're going to be monitoring the bowl. We're going to listen to Watergates, via JD Watergates. So if you got good gates, post them. We're going to go through word of mouth, because I'm always reading the mail. Jimmy's always reading the mail. But when it comes time to it, on that day of the show where we start getting the Northeast corner guys, you guys are going to nominate in the comments, and we're going to pick 5 of the top nominees, and we're going to put a poll up where you'll be able to vote. So it's going to be a thing like this. We're going to have the nominations right there on the show, and we're going to have the results by the end of the show. We're going to leave the poll up so you guys can see it live. And it's not going to be Jimmy deciding who it is. It's not going to be me deciding. It's going to be you guys deciding via vote.
So there'll be no bitching. We're gonna make it very simple, and we're gonna take the bitching out of it. You guys will determine what winner, what champ comes out of that region. That's it.
For sure. So tighten up, get your golden screwdrivers, get your seat time in, make a statement, because it's gonna be on and popping, man. For sure.
Yeah, I'm glad we touched base on that. We are pressed for time. That's why I was trying to hint it out there. I don't think I did a real good job of putting it out there, because we got completely carried away with the time. I mean, we're going right on in here, but I want to give a big shout out to Frank Lucas, my good friend, real black man. Appreciate you. And 955, good friend out of the Big Star, Texas, for coming on here, taking the time, being a part of this thing and making this show happen. Tim, my good friend out there, if you're still watching, appreciate you stopping in, checking the cast out. Prime Minister, Crack Carter, all you guys for supporting us week after week. Ice up there in Connecticut. Love everybody on the show. Till we can catch y'all next Friday, we'll be here. So y'all be here, and we'll do the damn thing.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all showing up. It's going to be some good stuff coming. Y'all stay tuned. Pass the word. Like, share, subscribe to our YouTube page. We appreciate the love, fellas. God bless y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
A Super Bowl operator, not the cheerleaders and the sideline spectators. They call us band gators, cause we chew haters, and we the tech leaders from 10 to 80 meters. You hams can't beat us, but the bowl is getting clicker. Survival of the fittest, now they selling wolf tickets. The handle rustlers, britches, dusters, some cuss when they get beat. They hating at defeat, and in the cheap seats, them ducks don't compete, just rooting for their friends with pal talk critiques. And watch out for self-proclaimed ducks. They claim to be a duck with 30 bushels in their truck. Charlie Wilson once told me he was weak. Please, he be base killing with 55 G's. And now they threatening folks to get fame.
I'm gonna whoop your ass when I get to LaGrange.
You're crying cause the pecking order move with a bunch of OZs and rusty tools. Wanna claim you a tech now? Put your bets down. You'd run B plus to ground. Everybody whining about shit. Driver down, rotor broken, no skip. I even diss myself. Is that odd? But I know the real. The hammer hits hard.
It's the Super Bowl. It's where the bosses roll. It's full of superstars and hammers hit so hard.
Cause the hammer hits hard.
It's the Super Bowl. It's where the bosses roll. It's full of superstars and hammers hit so hard.
The Cold War is is here. Who's your idol? Everybody's upgrading, waiting for the cycle, buying DBI and Skullcracker beans, big bluegill amps and Dave made things. And Ghost Rider Maters hitting Florida streets, big CC maids and sneaky Pete's, them getaway drivers and the trouble maids. It's for the love of the game, nobody getting paid. We build weapons. You pay or keep stepping. To get that more, you keep stretching. They say CB stands are constantly broken, constantly buying, so start buying and quit crying, duck. Complaints of a paper boss. Y'all talks to y'all's friends and put it in pal talk. And to avoid the gates, here's your 99. I can't afford a computer, hard time.